shopgear.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fan-Man,
Who is this?
this is somebody who has new mics again.
Really?
I don't know how you know that.
I don't know either.
Well, we can find out.
Because I'm gagging on one right now. Oh, by the way, nice segue. Did you hear that Dave Mouser blocked me on Twitter?
Oh, we will talk more about that
Yes, we will.
on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. Blue Smock Nancy, they're awesome. They let us use that wonderful song, Unsettling Differences. You can find them on iTunes and Spotify. I almost botched that. But...
Almost.
So, unfortunately, we've been off the air for a while. I wonder what happened.
We were recording our last show, and then literally our mics blew.
We were spitting so much hot fire that the mics couldn't handle it. And that's how we roll. So you're probably going to hear a little bit of a change of voice a little bit later. We are actually going to put the pieces of our old show into this, mainly the Rumble review. But we're going to talk today about the Elimination Chamber. I think it was bookend by two amazing matches, and then it just fell apart.
As Travis would say, they meant to do that. They meant to have bad matches so the other ones would be better.
Yeah, okay. That's bullshit, and everyone knows it.
Right.
So let's get right into it. Did you watch the pre-show? No.
I did not. I actually was going to watch it today, but I ran around and did so much shit I completely forgot.
You're not the only one. I basically rushed through Elimination Chamber, the main show. I didn't have time for the pre-show, which is kind of unfortunate because most of the time the Cruiserweight titles are on the pre-show, and they tend to be, obviously not this show, but they tend to be the best matches of the night. So Buddy Murphy and, what was it, Tozawa?
Yep.
Apparently brought the house down, but they were at best the third best match of the night.
Yep.
So let's get into the main show.
All right. This is a match I thought would close the show, but it opened it. The Elimination Chamber match for the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Carmella and Naomi, which is I must spell backwards, versus the Riot Squad.
First of all, Carmella and Naomi, also known as Team Bad Weekend.
I'll get to that in my extended news and rumors segment since I got a month's worth of them.
Oh, Jesus
okay,
Christ.
Carmella and Naomi versus the Riot Squad versus the Iconics. Remember, Peyton Royce is the good-looking one. Versus Nia Jax versus Tamina versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Sasha Banks, my girl, and Bayley.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
Which is why I was going to default to you, actually. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was one of the top three best Elimination Chambers to that moment. I thought it was really well done. I think even, I hate to say this, but even Nia Jax and Tamina did a great job of what they were supposed to do, which was kill people. The only thing I can really...
Not legit.
Kill people, but not actually killing people.
Right.
Unlike Tamina's father.
Oh.
Snap. I'll let it go. Anyway, even the botches in the match, the two most notable ones, actually, I was okay with. Liv Morgan trying to do the whole Matrix spot and completely biffing it.
Yep.
But it actually made it look better. Honestly, if she had meant to do that as a sell, it would have been perfect. I mean, everyone did their job. I thought more than anything else, I thought it was a phenomenal match. I gave it 4 stars. It was a great way to open the show. It got the crowd really, really hot, and the right team went over.
There was no other choice. But they did kind of push Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville there at the end, didn't they? Because
Yes,
I didn't expect them to be one of the last two, and they did. And the right team did go over. I gave it 3 3/4, so we're a quarter star off.
We're around there.
But again, I saw this. You watched it today. I watched it yesterday. We were taping on a Wednesday. So, and all I heard was about how amazing this match was. And of course, when people overhype shit for me, I underrate. Yeah. So, I mean,
we're pretty close, though.
Oh, yeah,
to be fair. And just a little bit of a side note, I didn't realize this either. And this is probably in your news and rumors later on, but Peyton Royce is a couple with Ty Dillinger?
I did not hear that.
They've been apparently together for a while.
Lucky him.
Yeah.
But unlucky him. We'll get to that later. But no, like, it was great. It's what it needed to be, and that was to establish it. Like we've just saying all the time on the show that heel champions with new titles establish it. I think Banks and Bayley are the right choice because they can go out and actually have great tag team matches. And the one thing that really annoyed me about the commentary about this match was Michael Cole going, "Oh, there's Banks and Bayley. They're making a great team." Well, they're a tag team. They're supposed to be that way.
Yeah, well, that was the entire thing.
And like Carmella and Naomi being like, "Oh, they're really teaming well together." They're supposed to be. They're a tag team. Like,
well, to be fair,
granted, they're thrown together just for this, but at the same time, they're like the Iconics. They're really working well together as a team. They are a team, Michael Cole. Like,
yeah, I didn't get a lot of that. There was a whole Corey Graves at one point in the match was like, "Are they going to be able to coexist?" And this was,
oh yeah, Banks and Bayley.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah, and like
really?
At the end because of last year where Banks threw Bayley off in a singles match. By the way.
Yeah, when it was everyone for themselves. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why the commentary was that strange. And there were other points in this show where the commentary was like, really? What? What are you talking about? But, so yeah, I think that going forward, one of the things that came out about this after the show, well, first let's talk about the promo afterwards. I hate promos that are right after matches.
So do I.
I mean, it was terrible. But this one actually, it was genuine, and I think that was necessary.
Well, every time he has Sasha Banks, especially becoming like a first, she gets really emotional. So, and that's just her, not her character. So right. that's great. But the forced "you deserve it" chant, where like they were booing, and then you saw a little bit of it, and then the booing began, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "Shut up! We gotta say they deserve it." And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll say they deserve it." Like I was like, oh.
They gave up on it.
It's like, well, they eventually did it, but I'm like, oh, come on, guys. Do they deserve it? Yeah, but any team in that match deserved it because they were all great in the match.
Yeah, I mean, even a thrown together team like Carmella and Naomi still technically would deserve that. I'm surprised that I think part of this. The tag team of Carmella and Naomi wasn't supposed to be Carmella and Naomi because they were kind of throwing Asuka and Naomi together. So obviously plans change, as they love to say, as Meltzer would love to shove in your fucking asshole.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. God damn him. You know, I should just tweet him and say, well, you might as well just block all of us here. Yeah, I mean, is there anything more to say? Oh, the one of the other things is that was it in a promo on Raw or was somebody else saying it that the tag titles would be defended on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT?
Oh, taking away news and rumors from me. God.
Oh God, yes,
but,
yes.
Sasha said it in the promo on Raw.
Sweet, we're gonna cut back on that list somehow.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I've been getting more and more on Twitter. We'll get to that later. But Trish Stratus tweeted something about how she's proud of Bayley and Sasha for winning it. And Bayley goes, "Get Lita ready." So, I mean...
I'm okay with that. I mean, if you want a marquee match like that, I wouldn't be against that for sure. Match 2?
SmackDown Tag Team Titles, Mick Miz. God, I fucking hate that name. Sounds like a fucking meal at McDonald's.
McMiz.
The McMiz.
I would like a McMiz, please.
Versus the Usos. So let me get this straight here. So you go into Detroit, you drive down the street the wrong way, you try to get into a fight in the cop and get arrested, and you win the SmackDown tag titles?
And not just win, pin the guy to get the SmackDown titles. It was Jimmy who made the pin.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
So that's how you get titles? You get arrested. I love WWE's explanation. Again, chalking off this news and rumors. I love WWE's explanation for it. He's responsible for his own actions. That was their explanation.
And that's why Big Cass and Enzo Amore are still with the company, as well as Rich Swann and... Oh my God.
I mean, that was kind of like a Rich Swann thing was kind of like a domestic violence dispute.
Yeah, but he's responsible for his own actions.
That is true. He is responsible for his own actions.
And it ended up getting thrown out anyway.
Yeah.
One of the things I have in notes here, is that Miz brings out Maurice and they announce they're having another child.
Cross that off.
Yep. Well, that was part of the pay-per-view. Why is that news and rumors?
Because it's news.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite parts about it is that while he's doing that promo,
he announces it the match dedicated for his unborn son and loses.
Well, not only that,
takes the pin.
Not only that, he gets a chant before he comes down that says, "You still got it."
The Miz?
Yes.
I don't even remember that.
When she announces that he's going to be another father, you still got it.
In between matches, I was kind of doing shit. So
it was a funny moment. He goes, "Damn right, I still got it." You know me. I love comedy. That's always going to be my thing in professional wrestling. So to have that kind of thing. How about the match itself?
I liked it. I thought it was a good match.
I thought it was a decent match. I gave it 3 stars.
Decent match, 3 stars.
I mean.
Oh, by the way, today is the 4-year anniversary of It's an Okay Match for a House Show.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was on my Facebook feed.
That's how I knew too.
Oh Jesus, it was an okay match for a house show.
4 years ago today. What is it? It is the 20th of February.
Yes. So for people who have just joined us over the past years, that came from an NXT house show we were at in Albany.
Yes.
And every single match.
Sorry, 3 years. 3 years ago. Not 4.
2016. Yeah. It was 3 years ago. But it came from a house show, an NXT house show that everything was absolutely average. I mean, every single babyface went over. Every match was 10 to 12 minutes.
It was a safe house show.
It was the safest house show in the world. It was main evented by Austin Aries in one of his first matches with WWE.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like we had to bring that up. But anyway,
this match, yes, I thought it was good. Better than what I thought it would be, for sure. I thought it would be doo-doo butter. Because
Shane McMahon's in it.
You know, the guy hasn't been pinned in like 30 billion years, right?
Yeah, well. Oh.
And by the way, he still hasn't. Oh, wait, that's a lie. AJ Styles pinned him.
Yeah, I was going to say, but he doesn't hold the record for the longest amount of time being on the main roster without getting a championship. That goes to Tamina Snuka. 9 years she has not had a championship. It's the longest person that's been on the roster that hasn't had a championship. Okay, so
spots of the match: Shane McMahon being Shane McMahon. The end. What? I didn't like the finish because you had Miz hitting his finisher, going for the pin. I hate it when people do that. Going for the pin, and then they do the sneaky roll up or cradle to win. Like, your finisher is supposed to put people out, not give them able to, roll you up.
Well, not only that, but he gets a full 2 count before he gets rolled up.
Right.
That's what makes it even weirder. I thought it was kind of a weird finish in of itself, but to have him hit a 2 count before getting it was a crucifix pin, which was kind of weird. So it's like, really? Okay, whatever. What did you rate it?
3 1/4.
Okay, so we're in the same ballpark. And then Raw happened.
Oh, God.
What the fuck? What?
Handicap match for the Intercontinental title. Bobby Lashley defends, and teaming with Lio Rush, defends against Finn Balor.
Okay, so my hatred for Lio Rush as a legit person is well documented on the show.
Apparently, he has a ton of backstage heat.
Really, you don't say.
For being Lio Rush.
Yeah. Imagine that. Fuck. Fucking asshole. I thought I gave it a star and a half, and I think I was being very generous simply because it was a good feel-good moment for Finn after what happened with him and Brock. It allowed Lashley and Leo to separate. It allowed Lashley to lose the title without getting the pin.
You say that, but Lio Rush was teaming with Bobby Lashley the next night.
That's true.
So the ending made no sense.
Okay, well, fair point there. But
the funny thing is, the crowd was chanting for a Lashley face turn. He does it, and then he comes out on Raw being a heel.
He came out later in the night as a heel.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. Yep.
Yeah, well, it's like he turned heel on Lio Rush, and then he turned face? But he was supposed to... He out-heeled... What? What the fuck? It's like they just randomly threw a bunch of people together to deal with the next match. Or not the next match, but later on. What did you rate it?
I overrated it, too. I'll admit I overrated it. Again, this match I wasn't paying attention to because I was doing some other stuff while this match was on. I mean,
I would like to see a competitive Lio Rush Finn Balor match. But
they had one on Raw.
Yeah, but they're booking Leo as like this
goober.
Really, yeah. I mean, he's intentionally being booked as, oh yeah, he's Lashley's little gnat, really.
But it's not far from the truth.
Yes, in storyline purposes, but Lio Rush.
I'm not even talking about storyline purposes.
Okay, well, I as much as I don't like the person, Lio Rush, the wrestler, is phenomenal. He's very good in the ring. And that's part of the reason why WWE scraped him up and put him basically on the main roster just about, almost immediately. So, to be fair, he's got the talent to be there. He just doesn't have the gimmick, I think. I don't think he's got a gimmick that's really worth it.
Yeah, because he's just a little bitch. That's his gimmick. I'm a little bitch.
I love you for that.
Raw Women's title? Ronda Rousey defends against Ruby Riott. The bell rang and then the bell rang. Like...
Oh my God, what the fuck was this?
The whole hype to this match was, Ruby Riott, she's a sleeper. She can change the course of WrestleMania. Taps out in a minute and a half.
It reminds me of every bad Brock match over the last 4 years. And I think that was almost by intent. Because you sit there and you wonder, hey, Ronda's a former UFC fighter. Maybe she can be booked like Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar was a former UFC fighter. She's got the legitimacy. You know what I mean? And that's going to be a big problem for her if they do end up booking her like that. I have a big problem with that because you're trying to make it, it's like saying all these people fake wrestle, but Ronda's real. So she could beat all these fake wrestlers.
I see what your point is.
Yeah. And to be fair,
I get it. And it is like the same way. I don't think they're doing it here because the next night on Raw, after losing in a minute and a half, Ruby Riott gets a rematch and they go 12 minutes.
Why didn't they do that on the pay-per-view?
Because they needed to have Becky Lynch come down and beat the shit out of everyone with a crutch.
Yeah, but they could have had a 12-minute competitive match. It's not like they didn't have time. They had promos to promos after promoing promos during the show, and it only went 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Only 3 hours and 15 minutes, like an hour and a half in today's WWE.
True, but I
get it. I was expecting this paper to go to fucking 11, and then I read that it was like an hour and 15. I was like, interesting. But I guess the plan for Raw was to have Ronda beat the fuck out of Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Triple H said no.
Because Triple H is fucking Alexa Bliss?
Because Alexa Bliss is mad fucking over, and what's the point in destroying her in fucking a minute?
Okay, fair point.
So then they changed it from having a squash match against Alexa to a competitive match against a girl she beat in a minute and a half.
The night before.
The night before, yeah.
What are they trying... Okay, so let's think...
Which, by the way, Travis, fuck you. Okay, so he says, I really enjoyed Raw. Did you even watch Raw?
No one watched Raw.
He's like, it was the best in-ring action in months. Just because the 4 NXT guys were on it. And by the way, the Gargano and Ciampa versus the Revival match got 12 minutes. It was the best match at 3 stars. A 3-star match between those 4 guys is like a dud.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Like, no.
Like, what the hell are you guys
doing? And then to have...
It was the worst match they've ever had.
It was. And to have Ricochet's going to be in action tonight, but then come in and save Finn Balor and have a how the tag team player match, player? Like, you said he was going to be in a match, but then you put him in an unadvertised match. Like, what?
Are you going to have a match or aren't you going to have a match?
So that makes no sense. And then Aleister Black beat Elias because, let's have a competitive match against Aleister Black and Elias. That makes sense. Raw was terrible.
We will get to Raw. I'm sure we will get to Raw because I think one of the biggest things about Raw has not been, well, it's been talked by everyone on the internet except for us because, we tape shows on Wednesdays.
Fuck the internet.
Fuck the internet.
Dud, by the way, obviously.
Dud. Absolutely dud.
Dud.
100% dud. It was only there to get to the post-match beatdown.
Which Ronda legitimately got busted open.
Good.
And you should see Charlotte Flair's arms.
Good.
They're bruised as fuck.
Good.
So, yeah.
It needed legitimacy. And
so we go from shit to shit. No disqualification match.
Oh, Jesus.
Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. In my preview, I'm the only one who did a preview on the Facebook page. I was
like, fuck this shit.
I was bored at work. So, legit, I was. I said, so you have protected Braun Strowman forever. And I understand it's no DQ match. You're going to have like people like Drew McIntyre interfere, which I was right. I didn't think about Bobby Lashley, and cost Strowman the match and give Corbin a cheap win. But I'm like, so you're protecting him all this time to have him lose to Baron fucking Corbin?
Yeah, and then you need to elevate Baron Corbin.
Then Strowman got his win back the next night.
In a tables match.
Tables match. So he didn't even pin Corbin.
Why are we still doing this? It is 2019. Braun Strowman has been nerfed to the point where he can't even get a convincing win against Baron Corbin?
So I have the news on the NXT guys. I'm going to throw this in here. Vince called him up. Triple H did not know about it. Vince called him up because he thought everybody on Raw is damaged goods and he needs new stars.
He's right.
Stop booking him that way then. Like, that was my thing. Like, he is right, but I'm like, it's your fault. Like,
well, that's the thing is that every single time we go down this road, we end up going, well, you've booked this guy to shit.
To be fair, you have
AJ Styles is a great example.
Well, that's SmackDown. But at the same time, yeah, he was WWE champion for a year. But you have Strowman. I don't think you're protecting him against Lesnar, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, we don't want him to face Lesnar. Let's have him face Corbin, because that's comparable. You have Seth Rollins, who's been doing God's work on Raw. Mm-hmm. Who has a bad back right now, so he can't really be performing. So that's probably one of the reasons why Raw sucks. You have Strowman, who's in a shitty-ass feud with fucking Baron Corbin.
Still.
And that's it. Those are your two top guys on Raw. The champion, Brock Lesnar. He's there.
What? This is like live via satellite, except he's not even via satellite anymore.
You know, Paul Heyman come down after the Strowman match just so he can show a video hyping Brock Lesnar and then he leaves. Why didn't you just show the video? You didn't need Heyman there. Oh my God.
I don't get it. I really don't get why. Oh my God.
Anyway, this match was
But
bad.
it's okay. It's okay. We're the authority now.
Oh, I just farted. This match was bad. I gave it 1.5, which I think it overrated it at. Like I said, you had Lashley too, and you had McIntyre come down, help Corbin win. That's it.
I have in my notes, now I took very extensive notes on this show. I have Braun Strowman match, LOL, what?
That's what I think about that.
Yeah, that's how I felt about the entire match. I didn't even rate it.
Cop out.
Oh, it was total cop out. I don't have any problems calling that a cop out.
That is a fucking cop out, eh?
Yeah, well, why don't we just get fucking Black Lesnar out there again? Elimination Chamber?
Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. I'm sorry. The new Daniel Bryan defends against AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Tongan Jim, and Kofi Kingston.
There are only 2 people in that match that weren't a part of the Ring of Honor roster.
Kofi and Orton.
Yep. How did you like this match?
Worst match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I bet.
4.5 stars. The sleazy star rating. Worst match ever, 4.5 stars.
4.5 stars. I consider this the best chamber match I've ever seen. I can't think of a better one.
I had to go back because there's some matches. I was going to watch them all, but then I said,
No.
no.
No. Just no. Yeah, it was phenomenal. The 2 people that bookend the entire match was fucking Kofi Kingston. And
I'm surprised Kobe didn't start the match.
I am too,
thought
actually.
he was going to start that match with Danielson.
But they already done that trope with the women's elimination chamber.
That's true.
But still, I mean, having him come out first and basically was he was effectively part of the entire match.
Right.
The only because they did a lot of stalling with Jim and Daniel there. I found it hilarious that they were cheering for Joe because Brian has gotten to be such a great heel that you've turned almost Samoa Joe face.
Did they turn him face or they just fucking hate Danielson?
I don't know, but I don't care. I mean, it's just so great. He blasted fucking Danielson so many times with chops. I mean, by the time the match was over, his chest was fucked.
It was red on SmackDown too. You still saw the
nice
the blisters from it.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, the final sequence between Danielson and Kofi was great. And to think this was supposed to be Mustafa Ali doing all this stuff,
right?
And I honestly don't think it would have had a much of an impact as it was if it was Kofi, because Mustafa's kind of new. Because the whole plan was for Mustafa to do that hour gauntlet,
right?
But then they just substitute Kofi, and Kofi's been there forever, and he just got this momentum, and now he's facing Danielson again at Fastlane, which I don't think he's going to win the title. But if anything, if you didn't want Kofi to enter WrestleMania as champion, you should have made him champion here and have Danielson win it back at Fastlane.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that Kofi gets his 3-week run saying he's been WWE champion, and then Danielson wins it back. So I don't think Kofi's ever going to win that title. But the match was great. It was booked perfectly. Orton's RKO out of nowhere wasn't really out of nowhere because he stalled, waiting for Styles to get his balance and make sure he was okay before he hit the RKO.
It was the most diamond cutter RKO ever.
It was.
It was great.
Jeff Hardy did nothing in the match.
Actually, that's not true. That's not true. His swanton
on Styles.
On Styles, and then immediately getting killed. That was great. I like that spot a lot.
So he had one spot in the match.
That's what he's known for, one spot. He's a one spot monkey connoisseur.
I miss AR Fox.
Me too. A couple of quick notes I have. Best chamber match I've ever seen. Kevin Dunn was on point I mean, and I don't just mean it in this Elimination Chamber. I mean the entire night. He was really on top of it.
There was one thing I think in the first chamber match where they were setting up a spot and then they panned to the crowd and you almost completely missed the spot.
Oh, it was the Bailey thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you caught the last end of it. Right. I was like, no, why the fuck are you cutting to the fucking spot? I was like, ugh. But other than that, yeah.
I thought there were a lot of great moments in both Elimination Chamber matches. I liked the camera work with the beatdown with Becky. I thought that was well done. But yeah, there are some WWE title chamber moments that were really well done. I think that Kofi being in this match made this match so much better than what it could have been. I also believe that this should prove to people, that Kofi's got it. He really does. He's always had it. I'm sad that this is going to turn into nothing. Although, who's really facing Bryan Danielson?
Segue to news and rumors?
Yes.
Okay, well,
that was an intentional segue.
Three out of the 6 matches were good, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10.
I was going to give it a 7.128. No, that's not true. I was going to give it a 5 because outside of the 2 amazing chamber matches, the rest of the show was booked like shit. I think you come for the 2 chamber matches and then you don't watch anything else. And I think that was the advice you gave me.
So. It was, actually. I'm trying to find my notes on it. Danielson. Okay, so Sleazy's sucking a dick.
Okay, we're good.
I lost him again. Okay, so the original plan for Danielson is to him have face, as I can't talk today, somebody that's currently either out with injury or is a part-timer. So they're either thinking Bray Wyatt, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, either Taker, Cena, or even bringing back Batista, who's been in talks with both WWE and AEW for a return. They still don't know.
My answer is fucking give him Kofi.
Again? So just have like a fucked up finish at Fastlane and then do like a no DQ or something like that at WrestleMania?
Yeah, that would be a perfect moment for Kofi to get his, WrestleMania moment, so to speak.
They did it with Zack fucking Ryder. At least they can do it with Kofi.
Absolutely. I think that Kofi absolutely deserves a shot at being a top guy, especially when we have 2 major titles now. It would be the first WWE champion that was truly, I hate to pull the race card, but truly black since The Rock.
Rock's not truly black.
Yeah, I mean, everyone calls him.
Mark Henry was the world champion.
Yeah,
but I don't think there's ever been a truly African American WWE champion.
Yeah, so Kofi would be an amazing part of that legacy.
And when we started this show in 2012, we're like, all Kofi does is jump high.
And he does. I mean, he does, but he knows how to work a match. So to be fair, I wouldn't mind seeing him against Kofi have the screwed up finish at Fastlane. I wouldn't mind. Him and Kevin Owens would be an amazing moment.
WWE will fuck it up.
They fuck up every WWE title match, if you haven't noticed that. Oh, we get to see Samoa Joe versus Bryan Danielson in a chamber, no less. Joe's first one eliminated, barely touches him. Oh my God, we get to see AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson. Go at it.
Had 27 minutes of fucking awfulness.
Just in silence. Oh God, AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe? That was fucking phenomenal. I want to see that once. Has the match 5 times and none of them are good. AJ Styles.
Plug in AJ Styles versus anybody you face over the last year.
Yeah. Nakamura. Holy shit. That's a fucking punch in the dick. See where I went with that? But yeah, I mean, there's so many dream matches that have happened that have turned to utter horseshit that I'm just afraid to even have a dream match anymore.
That's why you got to keep your expectations low, bro.
Yeah, but if I keep my expectations low, I just don't watch wrestling anymore.
I watch Raw every week.
Yeah, and look how you feel.
And somehow I'm still alive.
Yeah, still alive, but not thriving.
Oh, God. Oh, SmackDown's way better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and
so...
it still has some issues.
So... Undertaker's going to be at StarCast 2? Good for Conrad Thompson and his boatloads of money.
Holy shit. So the rumor was, correct me if I'm wrong, he's charging $25,000, not per appearance.
Per hour.
Per hour.
That's a rumor. It's never been confirmed by anybody. So
how do you come up with that number? First of all, you can't honestly believe that you can make money. That's not even possible.
Make money off of 1 hour of The Undertaker. Or 2. Or convention.
Anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to justify getting through 100 people an hour at $250 an hour.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No.
You just simply can't do that. It's not reasonable. And I really don't believe that he would be doing something like that. I'm glad he's doing StarCast. I would kill to go down there and see him, but it's just it's May 25th and
it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get down there.
No.
Especially considering it's also the opening weekend of fucking World Series of Poker too. You know, there's all sorts of different things. And Electric Daisy Carnival is also around that same time. So if you're...
What is that?
Gotta make sure the wife's not here. Okay, it's a bunch of hot girls practically naked dancing around.
So it's Las Vegas.
Yeah, but they're all this same thing and they're all touching each other and doing things.
So it's Miami.
In Las Vegas, though. They also have a Miami EDC, I think. Anyway, neither here nor there. The point is, there's a lot of things happening that weekend, and I would love to be a part of, like, most of it, and I just don't have the time or the money to do it. Because I know I'd have to spend, like, $600 to see the fucking Undertaker. I know it. I know that's how it's going to end up. I got to get a hold of Conrad Top and say, hey, we have this little thing called the Wrestling Show. It's been on the air for 6 years. Hey, maybe you should have one of the oldest podcasts in wrestling podcast history as a part of StarCast.
Right. Why aren't we even there? We're bigger stars than half these people. Just because they were in the wrestling business.
Yeah, fuck that. We were here first. The only person that we really kowtow to is fucking Colt Cabana.
Right.
Hashtag second longest wrestling podcast.
Right.
Just let it go.
I am looking up StarCast 2 tickets right now.
Classic Sleazy and the Fat
VIP Platinum bracelet, $279 plus a $16 fee. They're sold out.
Do they think that The Undertaker's part of that?
It is. It says right here. Reserved orchestra seating, best seats in the house. For more than a dozen live events like Talk is Jericho Live, early access to purchase private VIP experience like The Undertaker. Oh, that's where that is. Early access to purchase exclusive meet and greet tickets with stars like Kenny Omega. The first opportunity to buy VIP tickets.
There's a lot of first chance
for SoCal Uncensored, plus unlimited all access to space throughout the weekend where you'll have a chance to meet Jim Ross, Lawler, Kevin Nash, and more. The gold bracelet guaranteed seating is $179 plus an $11 fee. Access to more than 24 blah, blah, blah. Early access. It's like the same thing.
Except you don't get platinum orchestra seating.
Weekend pass. $69 plus a $5 fee. StarCast 2 will host dozens of exhibitions, vendors, and professional wrestling personalities on the convention floor Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This weekend,
WrestleCon.
This wrestling pass guarantees access to all areas for 3 days. Notice, a weekend pass will not grant you access to weigh-ins, roasts, or any stage show.
So, like, anybody who's actually doing a podcast, you don't get seating for.
Right. So pretty much it's like WrestleCon.
It's WrestleCon.
It's WrestleCon. Yeah. But yeah.
So
it gives you first access to meet the Undertaker. So you got to spend, what was it, $15 fee, $300 just to
get in line
to meet the Undertaker, which is going to be. It doesn't have anything about the Undertaker on here. I'm going to try to keep looking for
those
it, though.
fucking marks in Vegas. Jesus Christ, they got so much money.
No, I don't want Raja.com. Fuck you.
I just want to point out that's a max buy-in at a 1-3 game. That's it.
Limit or no limit?
No limit. 1-3, no limit? Yeah. That's just fucking hilarious. So they think that the stage shows are worth $110 for general admission, effectively.
Huh? What? Say that again.
So 65 or so.
Yeah.
is
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. So yeah, that really $110 for that. Now, granted, I like Jericho,
but you get access to like all that shit.
Okay, so what?
Still no pricing on the Undertaker thing.
I mean, even if you go to all 12 shows, which they're claiming it's going to be 12 podcasts, I guess. That's still what? $10 a ticket.
It's not bad.
Yeah, but that's assuming you go to all of them.
That's true.
And I'm sure you're not going to go to all of them. I mean, 2 hours at a time, after your third one, you're going to want to shoot yourself in the head. Even I know that. And I do this for a fucking living.
You don't do it for a living.
Well, if I planned on...
I was going to say, wait, if you do it for a living, where the fuck's my cut?
You got your 5%.
That's off your wrestling. I'm talking about this goddamn podcast. Where's my fucking cut?
Oh, you got the 0.75% from our YouTube monetization? When I can cut it to a full cent for you, you'll get your royalty. Until then, we haven't been monetized enough.
2020 Royal Rumble will be at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas.
Is that another baseball stadium?
It is. It's where the Houston Astros play, and it's where the Boston Red Sox clinched the 2018 American League pennant. Everything's related to baseball.
Get the fuck off baseball.
We did that way too much last show. Oh, wait. No, we didn't, because it's not on.
See,
actually, it was the show before, so it is on.
Was it the show before?
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
I'm doing the most recent. Apparently, Charlotte is dating a SmackDown superstar.
Yeah, I heard about this. Go ahead. You know you want to say it.
It's Andrade Cien Almost.
Okay, so here's the big question. Assuming, now we know this isn't true, it never was true, but assuming he was doing Zelina Vega, would that be an upgrade or a downgrade?
From Zelina Vega to Charlotte?
Yes.
Personally, I think Zelina Vega is way better looking.
Agreed.
But classified, you're going to be a member of the Flair family. That's an upgrade. So,
here's my answer to that. Look how far it got Aiden English.
Guerrero.
Yeah.
It's not Flair.
Oh, like Guerrero's not a name in this fucking...
It's not, but it's not Flair. Look at Conrad fucking Thompson.
Okay, fair point. You got me there.
He woos all the time. Speaking of an Eddie.
Okay.
Eddie Edwards has signed a long-term contract to remain with Impact. I'm sad.
The man bookends fucking Impact. I'm okay with it. Be the top guy in a promotion that has some sort of Twitch deal.
Okay, you want to talk about Dave Mouser tweet now?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, please, I'm all I saw So we opened the show with this, so it's not a spoiler. But Fat Man's been blocked by Dave Meltzer as he's wearing his Something to Wrestle With shirt here.
I was almost going to wear my Fuck Dave Meltzer shirt today.
You should have. So all I saw was, hey, look what happened to me today.
I said, no, just living the dream. And then I showed a screenshot of Dave Meltzer blocked me on Twitter. Well, AEW sold out All or Nothing in 4 minutes. Or Double or Nothing. Or whatever, in 4 minutes. That's after pre-sales, everything. 4 minutes.
Yes. We had talked about this, I'm not sure on the previous show or the show before, where we had talked about, they sold the...
No, that was in the chat.
Oh, that was in the chat?
Yeah, it was in the chat.
Okay,
So somebody posted on Twitter, he tagged Meltzer in it, and he put a question. It says, ROH is the number 2 company in North America. Where do you think, at the moment, where do you think talent's going to go? Because obviously AEW is a big thing. Meltzer's like, ROH is number 2. WWE's number 1. AEW is number 2. And New Japan's number 3. ROH is 4. And I'm like, okay, 1, North America, New Japan?
No.
AEW hasn't even run a fucking show yet. How are they number 2? And everybody was blasting him for that.
Right.
And he goes, I don't understand what you guys don't get. They sold out a show in 4 minutes. And everyone's like, including me, like, I don't understand what you don't get. They haven't had a show yet. They can have all the talent in the world and sell it so fast, the show can be dog shit. I don't think it will be, but the show can be dog shit. It can be the worst fucking wrestling you've ever seen. How about you calm down and just wait for them to have a few shows before you unite them the number 2 company?
Before you suck their dick.
And I did say that. My first comment was, tagged him in it, and I go, hey, Dave Meltzer, whose dick are you fucking sucking? Hashtag fuck Dave Meltzer. And then he kept going on and on, bashing people who were subscribers to his own fucking newsletter, by the way. He's like, I'm subscribing to you, I'm paying your salary, and you're fucking bashing me on Twitter because you're an idiot. And then I said, the ignorance of Dave Meltzer to think that a company that has not run a show yet is the number 2 company in North America is beyond fucking believable. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you, Dave Meltzer. Hashtag fuck Dave Meltzer. That's when he blocked me. So I love
it.
I pretty much threw his shit in his face, and this 59-year-old asshole couldn't fucking take it. Dave Meltzer is a little fucking bitch. Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Do you feel better now?
No, I want to go. I want to keep going. Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. You want? Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Actually, speaking of Hulk Hogan, Netflix and WWE are teaming up to do movies. One of the movies is a Hulk Hogan biopic. Guess who they picked to play Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan?
No. Chris Hemsworth, the guy who plays Thor in the Marvel movies, will be playing Hulk Hogan.
Actually, I like that. I think that's a good pick. But let's go back to
Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer. So what are we going to do with Dave Meltzer here?
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
No. We can't.
What we can do is he hasn't blocked our Sleazy and the Fat Man Twitter yet.
No, he hasn't blocked me. He hasn't blocked Mark, who should have been on the show, by the way. Let's shoot on Mark. What the fuck, dude?
Okay, he's such a fucking mark. He's like, oh, we're definitely going to be here Wednesday. 6 o'clock. We said we're taping 8 o'clock Wednesday night. At 6 o'clock goes, I can't get my Fire Stick to work, so I can't watch the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was 3 hours and 15 minutes. You started watching it at 6 o'clock, and we tape at 8?
To be fair, I watched Elimination Chamber an hour and a half.
Well, because you fast forwarded. Mark's not like that. Mark's not that.
Yeah, that's
smart.
true, but I just wanted to point that out.
This is the 3rd week in a row he's like, I'll be on. And he hasn't been on. So he's like, when we cover Fastlane, or maybe next week, which will probably be, not next week, but the week before, which will probably be like a Fastlane preview.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, okay.
What a bitch. Anyway, Dave Meltzer.
So fuck Dave Meltzer. And
somebody suggested to me to get an Instagram account. And I said, I'll never get an Instagram account. Instagram's for fucking people who can't, is Facebook for people who can't read. So,
well, considering Facebook owns Instagram.
That's too.
That's
like
pretty hilarious.
You can post on Facebook and it goes right to Instagram and vice versa. So
right. Well, I do have an Instagram account, however, and I basically use it for nothing but, well, never mind what I use it for.
Hermaphroditic dick pics and food.
Kind of, yes. Yes to one and maybe to number two.
So definitely hermaphroditic porn.
Definitely one. Definitely one. So I'm going to go and harass him for a little while. At least on Instagram, and then I'm just going to go back to him and say, well, what the fuck are you doing here on Twitter?
Like, I don't care if he blocks me because I'm not a subscriber, but, like, it's funny that this 59-year-old man gets called out on his shit, and he can't fucking take it, and he has to block people.
I hate to break this to you.
Two, he's fucking over the people who are paying his fucking salary at the newsletter. That's what makes me fucking mad. I'm like, so these people who have been know that you're an asshole, call you out on your shit, and you block them.
Okay, counterpoint to number one. What was number one?
He's a 59-year-old bitch.
Okay, so he's never wrestled a match a day in his life. You and I both can claim, at least, well,
yeah,
you've been in the ring.
Yeah.
I've wrestled a match. I've managed for years. I've done production in the back. I've done booking and stuff in the back.
Well, I've done that.
Yeah, you've done that too.
Yeah.
So what we've done in the wrestling business
is more than what Dave Meltzer does.
Yeah. So at 59 years old, he is a man that is no more of a mark than Nicholas. In fact, I dare
But
say...
Nicholas gets more pussy, though, so...
And he's also had a match.
That's true.
So number one, he's just a 59-year-old mark that gets paid to write about wrestling. Number two, his main base isn't the Wrestling Observer. It has never been that. His pocket has always been lined by WWF for many years because even Bruce Prichard has said they threw him stories left and right so that he would make money off the sales of that. And you don't think New Japan isn't feeding
Bruce Prichard never says he'll make money off it. Bruce Prichard fed him bullshit to see if he fucking write it.
Well, true, but also...
I mean, he did make money off it, but I've never heard...
Well, that's my point. He's making money off the fact that WWF was feeding him bullshit.
Okay.
Whether or not it's true or not is irrelevant. The fact that he was getting the information, whether it was true or not, meant he still got subscribers because he was getting insider information. Whether or not it's true, it doesn't matter.
All right.
And I'm sure the same thing is happening in fucking New Japan.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So he's making money. People are flocking to him not because it's Dave Meltzer, it's because he's got the information.
Right.
And the information's being fed through sources in New Japan and WWF.
Even Bob Backlund called him out on his shit.
How fucked up are you? Bob Backlund...
So Bob Backlund literally tweeted him. He goes, so, 2019 Dave Meltzer says, let me suck my friend's dick. And then Meltzer said back, he's like, I'm not sucking anyone's dick. It's true. They're the number 2 company. They sold out in 4 minutes. It doesn't matter how fast you sell out.
Especially considering WWE doesn't sell out that fast. Does that make AEW number 1?
Right. He says clearly WWE is number 1, but AEW is number 2. And they haven't had a show yet.
Yeah, well, even if you...
But and another thing is, they said in North America, and you add New Japan into that?
Yeah, because New Japan's running 25, 30 shows a year in the U.S. featuring such top-tier talent. And don't get me wrong, I love him to death, but top-tier talent such as Rocky Romero and a bunch of indie guys?
Look who their fucking champion is right now.
Okay.
Generic wrestler number 7.
Okay, yes. But I'm talking specifically from money and booking standpoint. And you can make all the excuses you want about fucking visas and shit. That has nothing to do with it. Mm-mm. You can sit there and swear up and out, no, it's because of Trump. Okada couldn't come over because of visa issues. That's bullshit. They're separate visas entirely.
One, the only thing that Trump would have any effect on is if they try to do it during the government shutdown.
But even then, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they would have had those.
That's the thing. Like, I fucking hate Trump, and you blaming Trump on that is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit, or not credit where credit's due, but that is a fucking stupid ass excuse.
Exactly. And number 2, to have Rocky Romero be your top guy. Come on, now you got to start putting money in. If you're booking these shows in places that you don't normally run.
Okay, let me hold on. What Sleazy's referring to is that New Japan ran shows earlier this month.
Yes.
And in the United States, and they were pretty much all ROH guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, under just a New Japan banner.
Well, most of them were ROH guys. There were guys on the show in prominent spots that weren't even ROH guys. There are guys that were from the area that just so happened to show up. So it's like, okay.
ROH guys just happened to be in Charlotte. Oh, hey, I'm living in Charlotte. Book me.
That's pretty much what happened. I mean, I remember one of the top booking, the top match cards on the show was Best Friends versus Rocky Romero and somebody else.
Google knows.
Oh my God, I love Google.
Yeah. Okay. More news. DX Conan is the first name in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes. DX. Including China.
Yes, including China. Where her mom is ecstatic about it.
I'm glad. I'm glad she's getting in.
She's from Rochester.
Yes. She's not the first WWE Hall of Famer from Rochester, though.
Who is?
Gorilla Monsoon.
I know that. There was another guy who was born in Mark Jindrak's from Auburn.
Yeah. Didn't train here.
No. There's a couple other people that are from Rochester. I was like, really? They're from Rochester? But
I mean, I know Beth Phoenix is from Elmira. There's like a bunch of guys from Niagara Falls, like Ty Dillinger.
Fuck Ty Dillinger. Oh, segue. He asked and has been granted his release from WWE.
Now, I only saw this reported from Wrestling Fucks 420 at .us. Was that legitimately? Was that a legit thing?
I heard it from John Canton.
Okay.
So I don't know where his sources were on it, but I saw on Canton's website that he
TGRWrestling.net, by the way.
Thank you. I'm still looking up this fucking shit. He that he asked for his release, and he didn't. Not sure if he got granted it, but it's pretty sure, like the way that he was talking, that it got granted.
Which is very interesting if you consider my earlier news about him being an item with Peyton Royce.
I don't think it's really as interesting. Just they're together, but I mean,
how many times have you seen one half of the couple go?
It's been times.
Yeah, there has been times, but it's not common. Usually they go together. Where do you think Ty's going to end up?
He's best friends with Cody Rhodes, so Impact?
Actually, I believe he's going to go to Impact.
No, he's going to go to AEW.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. Not unless they want to really make a play for him. Because if you are a guy that lives in Niagara Falls, Ontario,
okay,
90 minutes away from your home.
Okay, I get you.
You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Make more money working less in AEW, but okay.
And wide open to do indie bookings.
After the third time, I finally fucking got it.
Good for you.
Los Angeles show. Alex Kavanaugh versus Clark Connors.
Who?
Jonathan Grisham versus Tyler Bateman. Colt Cabana versus Shane Taylor. Brody King and Marty Scurll versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer.
Killer Elite Squad.
That was the name I was thinking of. Jeff Cobb versus Carl Fredericks.
So, ROH guy versus a jobber.
Dave Finley versus Chucky T.
Damn.
Tracy Williams and Juice Robinson versus Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta. That was the main event of the Los Angeles show.
That was Roppongi 3K reunion.
Your Roppongi 3K reunion. The former NFL punter Pat McAfee is signed with WWE as a contributor.
What the fuck is that?
I just say what the fuck that is, but I have no clue.
Contributor.
Okay, so the Charlotte, North Carolina show.
Give it to me straight, man.
Carl Frederick versus Clark Connors.
What?
Jonathan Schuyler and Colt Cabana versus Shane Taylor and Lance Archer.
One half of Killer Elite
Tracy
Squad.
X versus Grado Karn. Jonathan Grisham and Jeff Cobb versus Brody King and Marty Scurll. Alex Kavanaugh versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. Tracy Williams and Dave Finley versus Rocky Romero and Chucky T. Juice Robinson versus Trent Beretta. That was the main event of the Charlotte show.
For the U.S. title.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are terrible cards. Those are, considering you're going to a New Japan show in the U.S. and expecting to see Okada, Tanahashi, anybody from the Bullet Club.
Got Marty Scurll. Wait, he's not really in the Bullet Club anymore, is he? Okay. Nashville show.
Jesus Christ, dude.
This is the last one. Carl Frederick versus Alex Kavanaugh. Jonathan Grisham and Colt Cabana versus Shane Taylor and Lance Archer. These seem repetitive. Harlem Bravado versus Grado Karn. That one fucker.
One of the Bravado brothers.
Clark Connors versus Marty Scurll. Jeff Cobb versus Brody King.
I would love to see that.
So would I. Tracy Williams, Dave Finley, and Juice Robinson versus Rocky Romero, Chucky T, and Trent Beretta. And that's it.
That was best. No, that would be Three Amigos.
Those were the cards in the U.S.
I mean, if you don't call them New Japan shows, they'd be awesome. Oh, goddamn. Goddamn, pal.
Ooh, this fucking sparkling water I'm drinking here. Okay, so...
Did you get that on Amazon?
I did not, but we can talk about ShopGear.com, because I did buy some shit off ShopGear.com.
Did you?
I did. I bought books, because I'm learning how to read. I got it.
Suck that dick. Suck that dick. ShopGear.com.
Yeah.
So you learned how to read on ShopGear.com?
I'm bought books to learn how to read on ShopGear.com.
Nice. Did you really?
I already know how to read, but yeah.
Oh,
I
sweet.
bought 3 Civil War books. I'm a huge American history buff. So I bought Gods and Generals, The Killer Angels, and The Last Full Measure. They're books about 4 characters true to life in the Civil War.
That's pretty awesome. And you got that through Amazon's repository of millions and millions of items that they sell on Amazon. But you paid the same price as you would have on Amazon, right?
Yes, I did. And I legit did use the ShopGear.com app. Or link, sorry.
Link. Because what ShopGear.com is our affiliate link for Amazon. All that happens is that you go through the link. It basically says, we told you to come there. And what Amazon says, sweet, our advertising works, and gives us a little bit of a kickback. You get the same amount of money saved with everything that you buy. We get a little bit extra off to the side. You pay the same price for everything. That's the key. The only thing you're doing is going through the ShopGear.com link. And that's enough to give us a little bit of support. So ShopGear.com, and let's get back to the show.
All right, and another thing I did buy, which will make Sleazy really happy.
A dildo?
I'm loving you're embracing that, by the way.
Bringing it on.
A Fright Crying shirt.
Oh, did you really?
I bought a Fright Crying shirt.
So, spoiler on the okay, so I have heard that Freight Train is actually doing some sort of show. Okay, I haven't heard too much about it. I've friended a man named Jake Manning on Facebook. Jake Manning used to be part of $5 Wrestling.
Yes.
So I'm going to get a hold of him specifically, and then hopefully we can make some things work.
Because this sounds so stupid to anyone, but the biggest guest the guest we really want the most is Freight Train.
We could have Paul Heyman in the studio for a half hour. It wouldn't be good as Freight Train for 5 minutes.
Would be as good as Freight Train.
Right.
Because you completely butchered the English
I don't
there.
I don't
It wouldn't
speak
be
English.
good as Freight Train.
I want to be Freight Train.
Freight Train.
See, I don't know how to cut promos like Freight Train, so
The power of Freight Train shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. I was just going through it because they had like this sale. I was like, what do I want to buy? What do I want? I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I'm like, also I see Freight Train. I'm like, no way. I click on it. You only have 4 shirts, but I'm like, I'm got to be buying one of these. I have to.
click.
And I did. And I bought a Jim Ross shirt too.
Jim Ross and Freight Train, two of the most amazing talkers in wrestling today.
Freight Train. I also bought off WWE Shop, plug, a Johnny Gargano shirt, a Revival shirt, and a Ciampa shirt.
You fucking Mark.
But the Gargano shirt was only like $12. And the other one was like a buy one, get one for like $1. So I was like, I'll get 2.
Good for you. I need to go buy some more. Everyone needs to buy some more merch.
All the shirts, all the shirts I own are fucking wrestling shirts. Legit. They're all wrestling shirts.
Complete Mark.
Okay, so let's get back to news rumors because I got a month's worth of them.
Hey. The worst type of fan is a wrestling fan. Guess who hates wrestling more? A wrestling fan or anybody else in the world?
Fucking wrestling fan hates wrestling worse.
Yes. Wrestling hates wrestling fans, too. It's a mutual hatred.
So I should have talked about this when we were talking about Undertaker and Starrcast, but WWE wants Taker to be either at WrestleMania or the Shouty Show or both. Now that he went to Starrcast, they're really trying to push him to get to both of them. And here's the thing, though. I think on this page, I have...
On that page. Oh, my God.
On this, I have 2 separate notebooks here.
He legitimately has 4 pages of news and rumors here.
I do. Taker, this isn't Taker's first outside WWE booking. He did something for another promotion.
It was a charity event, though. Wasn't it?
He's removed all of his WWE references on social media. He's making his first non-WWE appearance as The Undertaker at the end of April for the Love of Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I find it interesting that they're going to let him have the character, though. Vince McMahon is still Vince McMahon, even though Taker...
What's he going to do? He's going to sue Taker. Taker's going to look at him, roll his eyes, and Vince's going to back away, being like, okay, that's yours, bro. That's
pretty much.
Goddamn, pal.
Goddamn. I mean, for 30 years, he's had his loyalty.
Right.
He should have it.
He's done. Like, you expect him, like, if he's going to have one more match, it's going to be at Mania, and then he's done. So, do you expect him to not take outside bookings? Like,
especially considering he's made a shit ton of money over the last year or so doing those fucking Saudi Arabia shows.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, so if he wants to take outside book, everyone else is doing it. Why can't he do it? It's because he's the Undertaker?
That's exactly why he can do it.
Right. I did say that Triple H didn't know anything about the call-ups. Apparently, there may be a storyline about Kurt Angle being in a retirement match at WrestleMania and a possible opponent.
Rey Mysterio?
Dun, 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 dun.
Cena?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does, but I don't know what's going to happen. Lacey Evans is in line for a significant push. That's why you've only seen her just walk down to the ring and not do anything.
Whatever. Do you have more news about Raw?
I know on SmackDown that Mandy Rose pinned the SmackDown Women's Champion.
God damn it.
What were you thinking about? This Raw?
Yeah, this past week's Raw. About the call-ups and all that stuff.
No.
Okay, so can we do a little aside here? I
Yeah,
know we've got so many fucking
go
notes
ahead.
here. So the main thing about Raw, obviously, was the big 4 call-ups. Gargano, Ciampa, Black, and I don't even remember the fourth one.
Ricochet?
Fuck him. I don't know who he is. So the interesting part about that is that 2 of them are champions.
Right.
2 of them are NXT champions at least till this week?
Tonight.
Okay, so yeah. So we don't actually know because we're taping this rather than watching. But they taped 2 endings for the Gargano Dream match. So we don't actually know if Dream actually won the title. But the interesting thing about all this is that what the fuck are they doing with these 4 guys?
I think what it is that I said it before that Vince thinks that everyone's dead on Raw, so they're bringing them up, but they're also around SmackDown.
Right.
So I think what John Cann has a theory, is not just a theory, is that they're going to be on both, or on all 3 shows, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and until at least WrestleMania, then they have that shake-up. They're going to have like a shake-up,
Okay.
like a week or 2 after WrestleMania, and then they're going to get called up.
Okay.
And another thing is all 4 of these guys are still advertised for the takeover in Brooklyn.
Which is fine because it hasn't been the first time where a guy's been called up and then they went back and did the takeover. Especially
Owens?
as Owens, Rude was one of them.
Yep.
And they were called up as NXT champion too. So
Right.
So that history says that obviously can happen, but 2 things about that are very interesting. Number one is they just finished calling up 6 people, and how many of them had matches over the last week?
Well, Lacey Evans, no.
Heavy Machinery,
Yes.
no.
They were on both shows last week.
Yeah, but
Not this week.
Not this week.
Because,
I'm talking about this week.
Because this week they had a promo where Lacey Evans walked out, and then they just mocked Lacey Evans, and Lacey Evans was like, ha ha ha, and then commercial break. So they were on the show technically, but they never had matches.
And who are the other 3? Well, Lars Sullivan was one.
He went bye-bye.
Yeah, so who's left?
I don't know.
Nikki Cross was one.
Nikki Cross, she's
She's a little bit different because she's in the women's division. So
she did have a match, I think, a week or 2 on Raw. Yeah.
and I can't remember.
She wasn't on the
the
show
sixth
last
one.
week, though. I don't remember what the 6th one either is.
But that's pretty telling in of itself, is that we can't even come up with a 6th person.
Right, but
we need to call up 4 more top guys from NXT
right.
to throw to who?
Dun, dun, dun. No, I don't know.
Wow.
But I had to say that the showings they had on SmackDown were way better than the showings they had on Raw, because Eric Young was on the fucking show on SmackDown. He faced Ricochet. He bumped for Ricochet so good. He made Ricochet look like $1 million.
Because Eric Young is a fucking pro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He got fucking cut open hard way, too.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Young will always be that guy that nobody realizes how good he is until you see him in a marquee moment like that. I think I worry about these 4 guys. I really do.
Well, because look at the track record of NXT talent getting called up.
Really. I mean, the only one, and I've had this conversation multiple times, look at the only one that's really, truly made an impact.
Owens.
Even still. I mean, the only other person that you could... Who's the only true NXT call-up that's made an impact out of Zayn and Owens? Other than Zayn and Owens, who, let's be honest here, should never have been in NXT.
Nakamura.
He barely makes the pre-show. I mean, he was the least interesting member of a tag team featuring 2 foreign heels fighting over the U.S. title. What's that tell you? I mean...
Sleazy and his Asian fetish.
It's not even an Asian fetish. That's the thing, is that all this is... every single NXT call-up that's come up has either petered out to shit or his name is Elias.
And he wasn't really in NXT.
Exactly.
He was in NXT for like a week, got hurt, and then just immediately showed up on the main roster.
Exactly. It was ridiculous to begin with. But, I mean, you take a look at all the NXT call-ups, and not really any of them have done much of anything. And it worries me that they're just thinking, well, let's just throw the 4 best ones up there. See what happens. The 6th one's EC3.
Oh, yeah, that is EC3.
So,
who wasn't on who beat Ambrose and then hasn't been on the show the last 2 weeks. So,
oh my God. Who's probably going to go over a fucking...
Who got squashed by Drew McIntyre in 3 minutes on Raw, by the way.
Oh my God. See, that's what makes me worried about these, because Gargano and Ciampa are amazing guys.
If you watched, you didn't watch SmackDown.
No.
You saw these 2 guys up against Cesaro and Sheamus side by side. You're looking at them like, are they midgets? They're so small. Like in NXT, you don't notice it. But on the main roster, you notice it. But at the same time, they proved that they hung in.
Right.
Against them. So I think what they really need to do is, it's obviously better booking. You don't book them like shit. You go in there, or you have like an invasion thing with all 4 of them. It doesn't make sense in the NXT universe, but have them all come up and be like an invasion thing, like they did in 2010.
Nexus.
Yeah, but as that 4 group. Actually, the best team to do that with is the shirt I'm wearing right. No, I was wearing that earlier. The Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Will be the better team to do that because they're actually a team. But they need to stop booking these guys like they're just regular guys. Like Gargano is the best wrestler in the world at the moment. So you have to use him that way. You have to push him to the moon. You don't just be like, oh, I'm just tagging with Ciampa because, we used to tag together in NXT. Now we're getting called up together. Like, I know they're best friends in real life, and they're kind of working together in NXT, but at the same time, Gargano's kind of like, I want your NXT title.
Really? And
I think they're only just teaming together just because, we're up in the main roster. We have to. But, I don't know. They need to not be booked like shit.
I don't trust the writers to not book them like shit.
I don't either.
And that's the bigger problem I have with all this. And we talked about this earlier, is that when you sit here and say, well, my entire roster's damaged goods, we need to bring people up. And now, how do you think they got that way?
Yeah, you booked them like shit. And we did talk about that earlier. Don't book them that way. And I think you can salvage some people. Like, Kofi was meddling around in the tag team division. After 2 nights, people want him to be WWE champion.
Exactly.
You can fix it. Just don't book him like shit. Like with Braun Strowman, book him like a monster. Don't book him like, I know he's a 3-on-1 beatdown, beats him, but when you're a monster, you should be able to destroy those 3.
Right.
I know you want to protect McIntyre, but there's ways to get around that too. And McIntyre be like a chicken shit heel, which again, he shouldn't be because he's also a monster too. But
well, all those guys are monsters in their own right. Bobby Lashley,
except Baron Corbin, he a bitch. But
well, yeah, but yes,
Mister, I don't know how to cash in a briefcase.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Well, here's the thing: Baron Corbin legitimately is a tall guy. He's a big guy. Bobby Lashley, legitimately big guy, tall guy. Fucking ripped. Drew fucking McIntyre, holy shit! Why are these guys being thrown against Braun Strowman? You could easily make them single top heel stars. Why would you throw them in this shitty mid-card pool of hell? You could make legit top heels out of any one of the 3, and you just choose not to.
To WWE's credit, look who the champion is right now. A big guy who could legitimately beat. So maybe if Rollins hopefully beats Lesnar at WrestleMania, they'll be able to have monsters against him. So that makes sense in that aspect. But
you gotta still make them look legit.
Instead of having them all 3 team together, take out one guy.
And barely being able to do it.
Right. So yeah, you're kind of disproving my point, but it makes sense your way. Okay, let's move on. I'm just going to do the shit we didn't talk about last week, because we did talk about some news and rumors. I'm not going to bother with that. But I guess Kenny Omega, he did sign with AEW.
Really?
I think we did talk about that.
You don't say.
A 4-year deal worth, I don't know the dollar amount, but it's obviously the biggest money he's ever going to be making. He did say he was open to coming to WWE, but again, more creative control. He went to AEW, and he says his negotiations with WWE were surprisingly pleasant, because people said that WWE is going to be, hard to deal with, and he goes, I didn't find that. I thought that was pleasant, and I'm open to working with them when my contract's up.
I remember him talking to fuck Dave Meltzer, and in the interview he said that his choices were in this order: AEW, then WWE, then New Japan.
His contract actually has a clause in it where he can still work New Japan.
That's interesting, because he was not,
if he wanted to.
He was not all that happy with the way New Japan booked him, which I found kind of strange, considering
that he was their champion.
He was their fucking golden goose for nearly 2 years. Mm-hmm. Even if he wasn't champion, he was their golden goose, because Omega was the top star, even though, granted, Omega was the champion for 2 years.
Okada?
Okada was their champion for 2 years. Omega was the one that was spurring on the American viewership that was so big, and the Bullet Club and all that shit, and the Elite and all that. So I find that interesting.
Let's talk about Corey Graves. Okay, so the
Poor
night,
guy.
I think it was either the Friday or the night before Elimination Chamber, so Saturday, an interesting Instagram came out from his wife saying that, how dare Corey Graves cheat on him with one of their 3 daughters' idols, Carmella, and I've been through like suicide attempts and alcoholism, and you're going to cheat on me with her, blah, blah, blah. She took it down. Apparently she took it down because none of it's true. Well, they are separated, but separated for like 6 months. He's moved out, lived in his own place for about a couple months. He, as the divorce is getting finalized, said, hey, just want to let you know I'm dating Carmella just because, we have 3 kids. Just want to let you know who's going to be around my kids. I guess that didn't make her happy, and she went to Instagram and buried him.
God, buried him in quotes. Great.
Yeah. So to me, it just sounds like a jealous bitch. It's harsh for me to say that, but that's what it sounds like to me. She just,
I mean, I'm going to
sour
say
apples.
I'm going to say the same thing I usually say with shit like this. You don't know the full story.
Full story, yeah.
So,
but yeah,
it's so hard to dissect something like that, especially when you're talking about
as your
personal lives. Yeah,
playing with your wedding ring.
Yeah.
Congratulations, fucker.
Yeah.
God, I wish I was. Oh wait, I was there.
Yes, it happened in the other room.
It did. I'm just being an asshole. Okay, let me just blow through this shit. Jericho wants to wrestle Lesnar in AEW. Unlikely to happen because Vince will offer Lesnar pretty much anything he wants to see with WWE.
That doesn't mean Lesnar's going to use it as fodder.
Oh, he's going to get a raise.
Hey, the Golden Jew is advocating for him. That's not a fucking work. Paul Heyman is a shoot his manager.
Yeah. Impact and MLW are going to have a joint show WrestleMania weekend on April 4th from the Melrose Ballroom in Queens, where Bound for Glory was last year.
Good for them. Wait, MLW?
MLW and Impact.
Interesting. Did not expect that.
I'm not going to talk about that because they canceled it. Abyss and Sanjay Dutt signed with WWE as producers.
Good for them. I've worked with Sanjay Dutt before.
So have I.
Yeah, you were producing a segment for them.
I was.
Yeah, they'd make great road agents. I don't know what Abyss's experience is, but I'm sure he was doing road agent stuff with Impact, so that makes sense.
Okay, I'm just going to cancel that because they changed plans again, and they changed that, so I'm not no bother.
Changed plans. What was that? Was that something Meltzer said?
Well, that's because Cleveland advertised 3 matches for Fastlane, and one of them was Danielson versus Styles, but obviously they changed that to Danielson Kofi. So, yeah.
Because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
No. Apparently, this is all news that happened like right after the Royal Rumble, so we're like a month behind on this stuff. But apparently, Ronda Rousey did not like being booed. She's like, I'm a babyface. Why am I being booed? But she's working with Paul Heyman,
with the Golden Jew,
so that she can see both sides of the story as to why fans are liking Becky more than they're liking her.
If it requires you to be talking to Paul Heyman to figure out why the fuck you're being booed, really need to reevaluate your position as a professional wrestler.
Well, she's new at it too. She's like, I'm the babyface. Why am I being booed? She wasn't like, she was frustrated over it. It was like the first time it's happened. You know, she's like, "What? Am I the babyface? Why am I?" She just doesn't get it.
This is why
you need to be put with Paul Heyman. Yeah, I understand it. Apparently, WC's Mr. Charlotte Flair now, Andre, as the next big Latino babyface, even though he's a heel right now. I guess the end game is for him to be a tag team with Mysterio, and then Mysterio pass the torch to him.
I'm okay with that.
So am I.
But they need to stop calling him Andrade.
Andrade.
What
I just call him Andre.
That is, of all the names to stick with, why'd you pick the one that was the hardest to pronounce?
All you have to do is CN almost. That's way better than Andrade.
And it's an easy call. Oh, there goes CN. You know.
There goes almost. There goes Andre. Fuck.
Yeah.
Ember Moon did injure her elbow in the Royal Rumble match. Had to have emergency surgery like the day after.
Yeah.
And should be out for an unknown specific time.
I think last I heard it was past WrestleMania. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Alexa Bliss.
God damn.
I love you.
You and your love for short women.
No, I fucking love short women. WWE officials were pleasantly surprised by Nikki Cross's reaction at the Royal Rumble.
Really?
Yeah. They didn't think she'd get a pop like she did.
Okay, sure.
I said before, the Superstar Shakeup will be planned for April 15th and 16th. I guess they're doing a Raw and SmackDown back-to-back days in Montreal.
Okay, cool.
WWE wanted Lars Sullivan to be back in time by the Royal Rumble, but he was, quote, unavailable.
Unavailable as in still seeing his shrink.
Right. That got
Nothing says that a monster heel like, I need to see a therapist.
Speaking of name changes, Heavy Machinery lost their last names.
Yeah, no, it's what is it? Otis
and something, yeah.
Otis and Tucker.
Yeah.
Come on, Tucker Knight was a great name.
It was.
Otis Dojovac. Come on, why aren't you making that call?
Fox says that it will air regular WWE programming on FS1 also, and they're going to air SmackDown on Fox, but they don't know what time they want to air SmackDown.
Okay.
They want to air it maybe between 5 and 7, which I think is stupid.
PM?
PM. Or either 5 and 7, 7 to 9, or 8 to 10.
So, sometime that evening.
They're not, well, they still got October to figure it out, but
it's going to be 8 to 10. Only an idiot would change the time slot.
Right. And the rumored FS1 is NXT, which I don't think will happen.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it'll be first run. They could easily
They want original live programming.
Well, it's not going to be NXT.
Won't be NXT.
No. Maybe they'll move 205 Live to it.
That would probably be better.
And I wouldn't be against that.
I wouldn't either. We talked about Matt Sydal being injured last show.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Apparently, there's a rumor going around, this is news and rumors, that he will be returning to WWE after his injury is healed.
So they can reunite Airboom?
No.
No. Although I will say I like his new heel persona.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that before, yeah. Okay, 3 more. I'm speeding through this. WWE Network subscribers are down from the fourth quarter of 2018 to the third quarter of 2018. The subscriber count in the fourth quarter was 1.528 million, and it's down from 1.615 million.
So I lost 100,000. That's not great, but look at the season.
Right, yeah.
It's bookended by, holy shit,
Yeah.
I'm in for Survivor Series. You know, it
Okay, so I got
makes sense.
Last 2 are football for the XFL.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
XFL is securing deals with Fox, ESPN, and ABC, which makes sense for Fox because SmackDown's going to be run on it. ESPN and ABC are pretty much owned by the same company. So
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah, so of course, if ESPN gets it, then ABC will probably air it. And then the XFL ain't fucking around with head coaches. They named Bob Stoops as the GM and head coach of the Dallas franchise. Bob Stoops won the 2000 national championship with the Oklahoma Sooners, and he was their coach for like 17, 18 years.
Wow.
So, and obviously he's a good friend with Jim Ross. So,
Really?
speaking of football, and this is XFL related, so there's a new league out right now called the AAF, the Alliance of American Football.
Okay. So you're going to have to explain a lot of this for me.
No. It's just a new league that's actually funded by the NFL. Well, not funded by the NFL, but it's on NFL Network and CBS. So it's like NFL wants them to be their training ground.
So developmental.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It is some of the worst fucking football I've ever seen in my life. It is garbage. Trash. Like, the 2 games I watched, the 4 quarterbacks combined for like 4 completions and 50 incompletions with 5 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. That's how bad this game is. Those 2 games I watched were 4 completions out of 4 quarterbacks.
Okay, so I'm going to...
And the reason why this ties into the XFL is that if those players can't fucking play, what makes you think the players that they get for the XFL are going to be able to fucking play?
Yes.
I got no hope now for the XFL. It's going to be dead after one season.
Maybe so. Or it happens like a lot of AA stuff happens in baseball. Now, you and I are both baseball fans, to be fair.
Huge baseball fan. Baseball's totally different than football.
Yes, that is true.
100% different.
It is different in the way it's set up, yes. But there are times where you watch a baseball game and it's almost laughable at how bad some of these players are.
Yeah, just look at the New York Yankees.
I've seen the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees, yes. And they usually dominate the entire IL. But the point being is that the games are so bad, they're funny, and they tend to be almost good in that respect. Because it makes you feel like, well, if these fuckers can fuck up and they're getting paid, well, why can't I play then? And obviously you can because they actually train.
Okay, for one, you don't have any hand-eye coordination. You're blind as
None.
You're blind as a fucking
None.
bat. You're blind as a bat. You can't run.
Hey, you don't have to run in baseball. Babe Ruth proved that.
Because he just hit it out of the park.
Exactly.
But again,
you just got to be good at that.
He had the hand-eye coordination. You don't. But anyway, it's totally different from fucking... Because you can find, and I guess you can find in football too, gems in these single A, double A, triple A. Obviously, if you're in triple A, you're almost to the show. But you can find these gems in there. Those games I watched, there's a reason they're not in the NFL.
Okay.
It's totally different from baseball because baseball, you can go to triple A and hit 400 or double A and hit 400, but you can go to triple A and hit like a 150. You're just good at that quality.
Yeah, that's where your level is. Yeah.
The level of football from the NFL to the AFL is like going from Major League Baseball to like a fall league.
Wow.
It is terrible.
Yeah, but here's the thing. it doesn't discount the point that if the games are bad enough, they're fun to watch.
They're not in football. They're totally different from baseball.
Yeah, but
They're not fun to watch.
Yeah, but do you like watching NFL? I'm talking from a casual viewer that doesn't
casual viewer. I like watching the NFL. I do not like watching the AAF.
I'm going to give the AAF a shot. Probably. I will definitely give XFL a shot.
Oh, I'm going to give the XFL a shot because it's a wrestling related / football league. But
right.
The AAF, like I said before, there's a reason they're not in the NFL. They're fucking terrible. Like, when your quarterbacks are that bad, it was like you went to my house and watched the Super Bowl, and we complained how bad that game was.
It was boring.
Imagine that game, that boring game, times 1,000,000. You're not even close to what the AAF is. It is bad.
Okay.
It ain't even boring. Plus, the way they use, and we both done production backstage, the way they use their cameras, it's fucking awful. They use it at, like, they're not going, like, head on and... almost dropped the mic. Haven't done that in a while. Dropped the pencil. Yeah. So I did it on purpose. They're not going, like, up a level and then going down so you see the whole field. They're doing it on the ground and, like, at an angle. You can't see anything.
So production-wise, they're terrible.
Production-wise, they're terrible. The football's fucking terrible.
Well, that's a non-starter for me. If you give me a good shot of terrible football, I might watch it. Okay? Let's be honest here. I mean, I am in. I am all the fucking way in if we've got 20 people that don't know how to play football playing football. You know what I mean? That is a great shot of potential comedy. But if they're just bad because...
Okay, for you as a really non-sports guy...
Right.
I see your point. But for me as a huge sports fan...
Oh, this is not for you.
It is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean... So we're seeing it coming in at two different perspectives. By the way, baseball will always trump football all day, every day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because baseball is the best fucking sport in the world.
Don't at me.
on a wrestling podcast.
Don't at me, bro.
Don't at me. But it's the only... It's going to change. It's the only fucking game that doesn't have a clock. They're going to have a pitch clock lately. It's the only game where the greatest players fail 7 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
It's the only game where the defense has the ball. There's so much interesting tidbits about baseball. I can do a podcast just talking about baseball.
And many people have.
So, but I decided to do wrestling with your fat ass.
Yeah, because I don't know enough about
baseball. Great documentary. You said you got Amazon Prime, right?
Yes, I do.
There's a documentary Ken Burns did in 1994. It's called Baseball.
Yes, I've heard of it.
It is long as shit, but it's so informative. Mm-hmm. It goes back from the origins to baseball till, I think, 2007 or 8, because he did a couple bonus episodes later.
Okay.
But the first one's kind of boring because it just gets into the origins. But from about the third episode to about like the 7th, it's fucking phenomenal. To me, as a baseball fan, as I knocked my headphones out of the speaker, yay, I can hear myself.
Yay.
But as a baseball fan, it's just fucking phenomenal for me. As we're going on a tangent on a wrestling podcast.
As usual. It's not a wrestling show episode without
tangents.
Crazy tangents lately. I mean, I understand, and to tie this back into professional wrestling a little bit, one of the best parts about going to some of these shindy shows is how bad they can be. So
for you, again, I take it seriously. Where you'll be like, ha ha, and I'll be like,
that was fucking stupid. Why the fuck did they do that?
That was really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, Chikara. Oh God. Oh.
Wow. Oh. I mean, and it goes back to, why do you like the medium you're watching? Do you like it because you want to see the best do battle, whether it be in professional wrestling or in baseball, seeing two of the best teams in the world duke it out for a championship of major implications, or are you watching it because you like to laugh at the asshole that missed the catch? I mean, there's so many.
Why'd you have to bring Buckner into this?
Ooh, ouch.
86, Game 7, or Game 6. Fucking asshole. Anyway, no, but there are some unintentional comedy wrestling. There is.
Yeah.
There are some comedy matches where you are into it, and I'm like, okay, well, I see why.
Right.
Like, there's a niche for it. It's stupid. I see why it's there, though. And you know me, NWA guy.
Yeah,
you know why I'm watching it.
Yeah, that ain't it.
Oh, by the way, for my birthday, you're going to give me the 70th anniversary TV?
Well, only if I can get it off of shopgear.com.
Oh, you know I'm doing it. I'm looking it up right now.
Of course you're looking it up. Actually, I don't know where I'm going to get it from, but you may or may not have a wonderful DVD.
You're going to R it, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I kind of figured you're going to do that. Shit, that's not what I wanted to do.
So, yeah.
Actually, I don't even have. I actually have to type in shopgear.com. Aha. I have it saved.
Good for you. Good for you for using our sponsor. So let's, while we're talking about sponsors, this is an interesting segue to a sponsored. I see your head's getting kind of stubbly.
It is. I actually do need to go to. Yeah, it ain't shopgear.com. I actually need to go to tinyurl.gear$shave. That fucked it up again.
Completely. tinyurl.com/gear$shave.
That's what I said.
You said tinyurl/gear$shave.
No, I said tinyurl.com/gear$shave.
I'll let you have it.
Okay, whatever. I do need to go there because I need to buy more blades.
Do you?
Yes.
You're out? Finally?
I have one. The one is currently on my razor. I actually just put it on there last week. I just been lazy and haven't shaved my head. But yeah, I do need to go buy blades. I need to buy. I think that's it. I think all I need is blades. But you can also at that site get Sleazy's amazing one white Charlie's because he loves that.
Oh God, yes.
He loves the way his bum feels after the dildo.
Oh yeah, it's like trying to get the lube out. It just one wipe. It's good. It's amazing. Love it.
Surprised you use lube.
Hey, sometimes you just need a little extra. Okay.
That's all you need to do. Anyway,
try that next time.
Wait, you'll try it next time?
Oh,
you spit your own asshole? Anyway, Dollar Shave Club.
Our sponsors love us.
Yes, they do. I do need to go back there, get back on there and get blades. Actually, I'm going to do that tonight. I didn't mean to do it yesterday, but I forgot because I've been forgetting a lot of shit. But you also have body wash now and shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, toothbrushes, everything.
Wow. They've really expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's amazing. You can still get the Fat Man special at tinyurl.com/gear$shave. What do you get?
You get for $5 plus tax and shipping. I think it ships free, but plus tax. You get the executive razor. You get, I think, 4 blades, which I'm still on my original blades. And then you get a 3-ounce thing of their Dr. Carver shave butter. That's it. But I think for $5 you get that, and it's to start. And it's amazing. I love it.
Shave, shower, and shit.
Shave, shower, and shit?
Shave, shower, and shit. We'll have to find the actual link for you. But yeah, just go to tinyurl.com/gear$shave and you can take advantage of that wonderful offer. So, do we have anything else to talk about? I don't want to talk about Fastlane tonight, mainly because there's really not been anything thrown out there.
Two matches. There's just 2 matches been announced. WWE title, Danielson. Well, sorry. Bryanson, which we haven't said that all night, and Kofi. And then the SmackDown tag titles, Usos versus the Miz Value Meal.
So one of the things that we want to do is we want to do another watch along for you guys.
Yes, yes, I want to do it. I want to do it.
We are going to do at least one more, probably 2 more, 3 more, depending on how things go. I've already got the setup ready to go for it, which is nice. So we're just working on what we're going to do next. If you guys have any requests, I guess you'd say.
What I want to do is the first pay-per-view that you and I went to.
Yes.
Great American Bash 2005.
Oh.
Even though it was in July, we can do it whatever the fuck we want because that's how we roll. We're not going to do this, it was in July, so we have to do it in July. No, fuck that. We'll just do it whenever the fuck we want.
We don't fucking do this.
I want to do that. I want to do like every pay-per-view you've been to.
Yes, I want to do every pay-per-view we've been to. I want to do every each of our first pay-per-views. Yours was the 91 Rumble.
Yep.
Mine was the 92 Rumble. Guess who?
Yours was better.
Yeah. Guess who got the better end of that deal?
You did.
But I really want to get to do these watch alongs because they're a lot of fun for us because we get to reminisce more about it, especially the ones that we've been to. And I think you guys really enjoy them. I've heard many good things, not just about ours, but of other people's that have done it. So I'm more than happy to do them, and I really enjoy the time it takes to do them. They're really nice. Also, we are looking again. I keep saying this, constantly say this.
T-shirts?
Yes, the fucking T-shirts.
We have so many T-shirts ideas. And they're so bad. I mean, not like the concept's bad, but they're.
Let's just say our rated is a little light.
Yeah, they're bad.
Yeah,
like we're terrible people.
We are, yes, but we've been on the air for 6 years, so we kind of get a pass, I guess.
We're being terrible people.
We're just terrible. I believe on more than one occasion I've done apology shows. So, anyway. So keep your eyes out for them. We will have them on our website, wrestlingshow.com.
In at least probably minimum
4 months.
Timetable.
4 months.
4
easy.
months? Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say like 4 years, but...
Yeah, I
mean,
would go
4 months is a little bit more ambitious than mine is.
I know. It's
you
pretty...
keep the expectations low, so when we actually come out with them in like 3 years, we're not ruining them.
Yeah, we'll be on the 10th anniversary show. So about those T-shirts. But yeah, we will have some merch out there. But keep your eyes out. We will be doing that soon. For people who still actually go to our website, we still have the old SoundCloud links up there.
Boo.
Yeah, we're done with SoundCloud. I'll be revamping the site over the next month or so anyway. But I've just had a lot of stuff on my plate as of late.
Oh, getting married and going on a honeymoon.
No biggie.
Nothing.
No big deal.
Nothing.
But yeah, so once I got some time to actually sit down and work on that, we'll have a new version of the site. We'll have a little bit more of a content on there, including Fat Man, who's going to be doing our articles again.
Yes, I am. I've been wanting to do that. Also, tangent.
As usual.
Pastor Gino's motherfucker.
Oh, okay. So, you motherfuckers, get it first. So, Fat Man's done the challenge before. Pat's or Geno's in Philly. If you guys are not familiar with Pat's and Geno's, what the fuck are you guys been living under? So, really?
What was that noise?
It's time for me to go to bed. I'm not kidding. That's legitimately what it's
time for bed. Don't say time for bed. Oh, what an old man. Speaking of that, I normally am in bed by like 8 o'clock and like sleeping by 9:30. I'm so fucking old.
See,
that's where you're like, when are we taping? I asked, when are we taping? 8. I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah,
I'm in bed by then.
So, anywho, Pat's, Geno's, they aren't the best. Let's be perfectly clear here. They're not the
mainstream.
Best. Yeah, the two mainstream choices for cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. They're across the street. I had them Sunday night at 7:00, where there was...
Wait. You ate them both in one day?
Yeah. We ate them side by side, literally.
Holy shit. You're fat.
How is... What? No, I mean, I bought one from one and one from the other, and the two of us ate half of them. So we ate one cheesesteak together, but we had half of each.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're not that much of a fat.
That's a little bit better.
I could do it.
I know you could.
But we chose not to. So we literally got the same exact subs. We got a regular with whiz, with onions, nothing else, no weird accoutrements, nothing. We got it from Pat's, we got it from Gino's, literally at the same time, so that we couldn't discern any like time frame difference.
Okay.
From a customer service standpoint, Gino's wins hands down. They're a lot more pleasant than Pat's are.
They are.
They are. The way they deal with customers in terms of their orders are a lot better. You get everything from a single window. Pat's, it's separated. You do cheesesteaks in one window and then fries from another. We didn't care because we only got cheesesteaks, so we didn't kind of see that. But in terms of the actual cheesesteaks, holy shit, Pat's just is a whole nother league. Gino's is riding on the fact that they've made this kind of rivalry and they're making a shit ton of money on merch because you get the cheesesteak, but then you're basically going right into their fucking merch stand and there's like 3 merch areas that you can go into to buy Gino's merch, and it's crazy. Whereas Pat's has made this beautiful sandwich. It really is a great sandwich. The meat seasoned well. The cheese is enough, but it's not too much. The actual sandwich is heavier because they've actually packed it.
Because I went to Gino's in 2000. No, went to Pat's in 2009 and Gino's in 2010. And I remember Pat's being amazing. Like, it's shredded steak. Mm-hmm. You can get like onions, peppers, mushrooms, like anything you want on it. Yeah, they are kind of dicks. But the whole when I went in the summer because I went to Night of Champions. And so the place was packed. So they wanted you to get through the line. So I didn't really it was busier there. So I'm like, okay, I understand why.
What the fuck do you want?
They didn't say that to me.
Without, what?
They literally tell you.
What cheese? Now.
They literally say on the board, if I remember correctly, know your order before you come to the window.
Yeah.
So I can give them a pass. When I went to Gino's, with Pat's, the 2 line for that's stupid. I think that's stupid. They're having the 2 lines. But when I went to Gino's, they were fucking pricks. Because all you
really,
because all you think, what is it, with or without onion? That's the only thing you can get.
Yeah, really.
So I'm like, okay, without onion. And they're like, what? I'm like, without onion. It's like, what do you mean without onion? I'm like, I want your sandwich without onion. Well, we don't have that. I'm like, I don't want it. Like, so we don't have onions. Well, I don't want it. So, okay. And I went in October of 2010. So it was a little cooler out, but that wasn't the point. I literally got the sandwich, went right to a bench, took a bite. It was still cold.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry, I'm fucking around with this headset again. But
wow, really? It was cold?
It was cold. I think it was the cheese that was cold.
So it cooled down the steak.
Right. And at the same time, it was like a Subway sandwich where it's like, it wasn't chopped up. It was the pattied steaks. And there was only
steakums.
Steakums. And there's only like 3 pieces on it. And then you had like a layer of cheese and then you smush it together. It was all bread. There was no meat.
Yeah. And that was my exact same experience too. So, it was really bad. I mean,
like it didn't taste.
We went to Wawa, okay?
Oh, I'm fucking ripping ass right now. But
well, I did too. We went to Wawa.
That's a gas station, right?
Yeah, it's a gas station that's like
it's like a Sheetz.
It's exactly like. There's the other big debate, and that's more for professional wrestlers, is which is better, Sheetz or Wawa?
Sheetz is better.
Yeah, well, in the case between Geno's versus Wawa, Wawa wins.
Really?
Okay, so yeah.
They had steak subs there?
Yeah, we had breakfast steak subs actually for breakfast one morning, and that was still better than Geno's.
I mean, Geno's wasn't bad, but just like the customer service I thought was terrible, and it was cold. So, and I remember
that's unforgivable. I'm sorry.
Oh, cold steak sub?
Yeah.
That's like they even like I'm like, hey, this is cold. They're like, well, it's cold outside. I'm like, it's 50 degrees. I just got this sandwich. I doubt it cooled down that fucking much in 10 seconds.
Considering we took both of our sandwiches back into the car, and it was 30 degrees out at best. Drove all the way back to our hotel in right outside Parks Casino because LOL. Of course I did.
I know where that is. Okay.
And they were still hot there.
So, yeah, it was just that guy being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So, when I go back to Philly, whenever that is, I'm definitely going back to Pat's because fuck Geno's. Because I want, I'm on my page.
I want to go to other places.
So do I.
So, I mean, Pat's is great and everything, but one of the things that's very apparent, and of course, we're talking about food in Philly on a fucking wrestling podcast. But
I related to mine. I went to a pay-per-view there.
Mine was totally unrelated. But one of the things that's important to note is that if you want a signature dish from a town, the best place to get it is not in that town. You know, where's the best place to get buffalo wings? Not fucking Buffalo. and that's not a quote from me. That's a quote from Alton fucking Brown.
I remember, wrestling related, went to Armageddon. Remember that little shop we had?
Yeah.
Like 2 miles down from the arena? Yeah. They had good wings.
Yeah, they did.
But when me and Aaron went to a hockey game down there, I'm like, I always go to that place. So I went to that place. I didn't get wings. I got a burger. Big fucking mistake.
Really?
The burger was fucking awful.
Wow. That's pretty nice.
No, it was not nice.
Well, it's nice to know that you shouldn't be eating burgers there.
Right. So whenever the next wrestling pay-per-view or hockey game I go to, I'm going there, but I'm not kidding.
At the HSBC Arena, or whatever it's called now.
First Niagara Center
in Buffalo.
Because, corporate sponsors.
But the one thing that we do is we go to shopgear.com.
Shopgear.com!
Yay, Shopgear. So shopgear.com, we talk about this all the time on the show. It is our affiliate link for Amazon. So if you go to the shopgear.com site, it actually redirects you through to Amazon. And then you buy your shit normally. Same price as if you were on Amazon. Except Amazon gives us a little kickback saying thank you for promoting Amazon. You get the same quality products that you would get normally, which in some cases are, Amazon quality. But you pay the exact same price as you would normally. The only difference is it gives us a little bit extra on the side. And it helps us support this show. It helps support the Gear Radio Network. And it helps us continue our mission of reaching as many people as possible.
Absolutely. I use shopgear.com. Well, I can't talk today. I use shopgear.com for pretty much all my internet shopping needs.
Do you?
I do.
What did you buy last?
Online?
Yeah. I just bought a boning knife.
Your wedding present.
What? You bought a wedding present for moi?
No, I definitely did not do that.
Okay, well, fuck you. No, legitimately, I bought some ink for a new printer. I bought...
Because you got to download those hermaphroditic porn images.
Oh my god, yeah. Absolutely. I bought a boning knife to add to our collection of kniffys in case Fat Man decides to go rogue on me. No, but all this stuff and more you can buy on Amazon.com through the shopgear.com Amazon link. That's shopgear, shopgere.com. So let's get back to the show. So do we want to talk about the 19-hour Royal Rumble?
Yeah, let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
I don't. I really don't.
Okay, so I actually had statistics on the Royal Rumble.
Oh, God, here we go. I can't wait.
Overall, the Royal Rumble was 4 hours, 53 minutes, and 16 seconds, making it the fourth longest WWE show in history.
Fourth longest?
It goes behind WrestleMania 34,
which seemed like forever. We were there.
WrestleMania 33, which was only 15 seconds shorter than WrestleMania 34, and the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was about 5 hours. This one, yeah. And then after this one was WrestleMania 32, which was like an hour and 15 minutes.
Shorter?
Shorter. Or not an hour, a minute 15 shorter.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. It went on till midnight.
Yes, it did.
Now keep in mind this was West Coast, so that's what, 9:45. It was 10 o'clock.
Mountain time.
Was it Mountain Time? Mm-hmm. So it would have been 10 o'clock.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
2 hours back.
My bad.
Yeah.
I had to think for a minute. I was thinking Central Time for some reason.
Yeah. Holy shit. Even I remember watching, and spoiler, we were watching the Brock match, and I was looking down and like, oh shit, it's 10:45. We haven't even started the Rumble yet.
I told you right before the WWE title match, this shit's going to midnight. You're like, no, it's not. I showed you my phone. It was like 9:30. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I thought it was earlier in the night than it was, but oh my God, fucking ridiculous. Don't believe the fact that the pre-show also was just horrendous. Thank God so as usual when we have these big events, Fat Man and I will start at like noon, do poker, do pizza, wings, whatever, and once it gets to be about 5 o'clock, we turn on the pre-show. We didn't even bother doing that because we figured it was just going to be a bunch of horse shit, and then the last half hour would be maybe the matches. I would not have wanted to stay in there to watch all those pre-show matches, the dark show match, all spaced out within 2 hours, and then 5 hours of the Rumble. It was bad enough on WrestleMania 34.
Right. I'll give you more statistics here. This is okay. So the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Where were you getting these from? Before
this is CageSideSeats.com.
Okay, cool.
The Women's Royal Rumble match went like an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay.
It's the longest 30-man Royal Rumble match, or 30-woman, or whatever. 30-person Royal Rumble match ever.
Really?
And it's only 5 minutes shorter than the longest Royal Rumble match was the Greatest Royal Rumble. It was actually longer than the 40-man Royal Rumble of 2011 by like 3 minutes.
What?
Mm-hmm. The men's Royal Rumble match went like 58 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Daniel Bryanson.
Thank you.
And Styles went like 25 minutes. Now, that stands out as is for an undercard match. It is the third longest undercard match in Royal Rumble history.
Third longest? What was number 1 and 2?
You have Taker and Bret Hart from 96 and Triple H Cactus Jack from 2000.
Okay. Well,
those were the two big ones. And then the other match times were then Asuka and Becky went 17. Ronda Rousey and Sasha went like 14. The Bar and Miz and Shane went about 13 and a half.
Why?
And of course, Brock Lesnar has the shortest match of the night at 8.5 minutes.
The man does not get paid by the hour. That's for damn sure.
Get some miscellaneous. So that leaves. Hold on. I have him right here. Where to go? Okay, so there were 3 hours, 26 minutes, and 14 seconds of actual ring time. Guess how much percent of the pay-per-view that was?
Well, it would have been around, you said 5 hours, so I would say 38%.
70.3%.
Oh, I meant the other way. So
The pre-match, this is just, the pre-match is, went 45 minutes and 45 seconds. The post-match time went 20 minutes and 47 seconds. Miscellaneous, which is like promos and stuff, was only 20 minutes and 30 seconds.
the rest was, what, ads?
Like ads and like, yeah.
Wow.
Where'd it go here?
That's just crazy just to think about all the...
Because we were talking about how like they never devote time to like any match time. This is the highest percentage of match time dating back to 2013
Wow.
devoted on a pay-per-view. That's 84 events.
Well, of course, because it's 5 fucking hours long. They could afford to give Sasha and Ronda 13 and a half minutes. They could afford to give full 8.5 minutes to Brock.
Right. That's it for like miscellaneous stuff. I'll get into like the women's Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble stats when we actually get to the matches. But then, did you rewatch the pre-show?
I did not rewatch any of it.
Really?
I did not watch a single bit of it from the start. So the only thing I watched was Takeover again.
So you're doing this by memory.
Oh, I am. So it's going to be terrible. I can tell you.
It took me 2 days to rewatch this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's just so long.
yeah, I mean, I don't have enough time in the day to do this shit. Sometimes it's ridiculous.
Okay, so SmackDown Women's title, Asuka defending against Becky Lynch.
5 stars, obviously.
You're the women's wrestling enthusiast. Tell me how you really feel.
5.5 stars. Fucking break out that fucking Asian Canadian thing, you know. No, I enjoyed it, but it still seems like that Asuka's still missing something. It feels like that she's not back to her old NXT days.
So, this is funny. Did you didn't watch any Raw SmackDown last week or this week, right?
No.
Okay. Wasn't even on SmackDown last week. Did a 30-second promo if anyone's ready for Asuka this week. So she technically wasn't even on the show this week either.
She took 2 weeks off to go to Tokyo.
She did a video package. It's more like, oh shit, we forgot that we have other women besides Becky Lynch on the fucking show. One of them's a champion. Let's just put out a 30-second promo about her.
I mean, this reeks of, and I hate making the corollary, but it reminds me of fucking CM Punk. Oh, by the way, he's the champ. He's been the champ for almost a year.
Let's have John Cena in the main event against fucking Johnny Ace.
Yeah. I mean, we're starting to, and with all due respect to Becky Lynch, I dare say that she is the hottest act in WWE right now. Not just the female, everyone. She has gotten a huge explosion of support from fans. Even as a heel, she's one of the biggest pops in the night. So having this match was, I don't want to say it was lackluster, but it was definitely not the match I thought they could have had.
I agree, and I think part of the reason is like, we talked about it the last show, was like, you knew Becky was somehow getting in the Rumble, so, like, at least I did. So I'm like, she's going to lose. It's just giving Asuka the win. Like, why is she even in this match?
By the way, motherfucker, here's your goddamn dollar.
Well, you're welcome.
Fuck you.
So that's probably why it kind of felt lackluster, is because you knew she wasn't going to win, but she's there to put on a good match. I dare to think maybe you should have given that spot to, God, it sounds stupid, like a Peyton Royce or something, to like just at least give him a title shot.
Right.
Like,
well, that makes sense, though. I mean, you could have had Becky have all these promos getting into the Rumble from the get-go for weeks.
You could have done the same thing. Well, we'll get to it in the women's Rumble match.
Okay. Before we continue, I know we know what happened to Nakamura and Rusev. Can we really quickly? Well, let's talk about the 2 pre-show matches before we continue. Mainly because I thought they were hilarious. First of all, it was Dawson and Razor versus the SmackDown Tag Champs. What?
No, it wasn't. No, they're the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Oh, Raw. Aren't they? I thought they're... See, I don't even know. They're so buried in the card. I don't even know which brand that was.
Because literally the second match was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, you fucking idiot.
I still don't know. No, don't care.
You're a dumbass.
But the point being...
Damn, Bruins down 1-0.
Fuck the Bruins.
Fuck you.
The point was they had two halves of a tag team facing the Raw tag team.
I don't know. I don't know why. I know because one of the authors of pain is hurt. I don't know why they didn't do the Arrival. Oh wait, they fucking have had that match 10,000 times, and they're gonna fucking do it again in Elimination Chamber.
Surprise, surprise. And then Nakamura versus Rusev. I do know what happened to poor...
So Nakamura wins the U.S. title. Loses it to SmackDown to fucking the 2-time NWA champion K-Quick. Which, by the way, he really didn't because it was a 2 count. They just did it for a fucking finish. And then Rusev comes down and challenges R-Truth, and R-Truth fucking beats him. So, yeah. Then now Rusev and Nakamura are a tag team.
What?
Yes.
My stomach hurts.
Your stomach always hurts. You're fat.
Yeah, but more so than normal.
Anyway, Lynch and Asuka, can we go back to that?
Yeah, it's obviously a better match.
I gave it 3 1/4. I mean, I saw John Cannon gave it 4 stars. I was like, this, I don't know.
That's the Becky aura.
It was a good match, but I don't know about 4.5 or 4 stars. But it was a good match. It was obviously watchable. But
I 100% agree with you. 3 1/4 stars is a very reasonable rating for that match. Like I said, the things that were missing were mainly on the. There wasn't a sense of urgency in the match as much as I would have liked. There were tiny bits of it. The flurry of offense that Asuka again got in like 2/3 of the way in the match, yeah. But other than that, it could have been better, but I don't think it was.
Because they were protecting Becky for the Rumble.
Which, like I said, why do the match then?
I agree with that. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Gave it 3 3/4.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So SmackDown tag team titles.
That was a SmackDown tag team? Oh, I thought those were Raw tag teams, though.
The Bar defends against The Miz and Shane McMahon.
Sorry, I have flashbacks to the Bar losing their tag team titles to a fucking 10-year-old kid.
Dude, that kid has probably already had like 4 kids by now. He's got so much pussy.
Oh my god, yes.
I thought the match was meh.
Yeah?
Not even an okay match for a house show, just meh.
I like how you're so, upbeat about that.
2 stars? It was okay.
It was a terrible match.
Fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3 1/4.
Yeah, fuck Dave Meltzer. It wasn't even close. I mean, I think you're a little bit overrating on this. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was a stupid premise to begin with. I hated the fact that the match was... okay, great. He does a shooting star press. Great. Love you for it, Shane. The match as a whole was just terrible. I hated it.
It was what we talked about, Shane McMahon getting actually, it wasn't. The Miz is the one getting all the heat, and
Right.
Shane McMahon gets the hot tag.
It should have been absolutely the opposite, and it wasn't, and I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of things, though, to be fair.
Okay. Raw Women's title. Ronda Rousey defends against Sasha Banks.
Okay.
You're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
I'm not going to say that. I thought it was good. I think it was better than Becky Lynch versus Asuka, actually. It was a great... let me put it this way. It was a great showcase for Ronda Rousey to be in the ring with somebody that's very good on most days. This was one of the good days of Sasha Banks. And I think
Sasha gets hurt.
Yeah, ironically. Doesn't that fucking happen all the time? Her best matches are the matches where we think she died in it or she gets legit hurt in the match.
Yeah.
And this is no exception to that. I thought it was really good. I gave it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was the centerpiece of Ronda Rousey's work over the past year. I thought it was phenomenal. And for what they could have done and what they ended up doing in the match, I thought it was wonderful. I think it puts Ronda more on the map as a reason of why she's actually here for the long haul.
Wow. That shocked me.
Really?
4 stars.
What the fuck?
I hated that she lost to a fucking transitional move. But again,
she took 5 of them.
But again, hindsight's 2020. We know Sasha was hurt. Maybe Sasha got hurt and they just called an audible. Now that we know that.
Because you can't really do an arm bar when
you have a hurt arm.
Yeah. Legit hurt arm.
They probably called an audible there. That's the only thing I hate about the match. Right. I thought it was match of the night.
Yeah. I would agree. Some people, I know people were clamoring about the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight title, but I didn't see it. So I can't.
Some people also gave Asuka and Becky 4 stars, which that's not. I think John Kane gave us 3. Becky and Sasha and Ronda 3.
This was the better match of the two.
Easily.
Yeah.
Match of the night for me.
I would agree, actually. And it pains me to say that.
The fuck Dave Meltzer gave it 3 3/4.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. No, it pains me to say that.
Sasha Banks is better than Asuka?
No. We'll talk about it later. We'll definitely talk about it later.
Okay. Women's Rumble match. Okay, we're going to get in depth on these Rumble matches here because I got...
Oh, he's got stats.
Stats, baseball guy.
Fuck.
Okay, so I actually have all the survival times for everybody in the match.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is the first Rumble match where at least 3 competitors lasted over 50 minutes.
Wow.
Natalya at 53:01. Ember Moon at 52:45. Charlotte at 50:03. The next person was Lacey Evans at 29:21.
Wow.
Then Mandy Rose at 25:52. Kairi Sane 16:52. Bayley 14:17. Becky 13:22. Io Shirai 13:21.
Considering Becky came in at 30? Or was it 28?
28.
So...
But at the same time, she was kind of down there, too.
Right.
But
So
we'll
that's kind of
about
interesting.
Ruby Riott 13:07. Alexa Bliss.
Alexa.
12:58. Nia Jax 11:59. Zelina Vega 11:49. Mickey James 11:38.
Half of that under the ring.
Right. Casey Catanzaro 10:45. Candice LeRae 9:30. Billie Kay 9:16. Nikki Cross 8:53. Peyton Royce 8:39. Tamina 8:22. Maria Kanellis 8:11. Rhea Ripley 7:57. Dana Brooke 7:18. Carmella 7:13. Alicia Fox 6:30. 6:53. As I was looking at the next one, Sarah Logan 5:38. Was that Chinese girl's name again?
Xia Li?
Yeah. 4:51.
Xia Li, excuse me.
Sonya Deville 4:26. Naomi 1:25 and Liv Morgan 10 seconds.
I love Liv Morgan. So, a couple of standout things I want to point out. First of all, Casey Catanzaro. Casey.
Casey Catanzaro.
Casey Catanzaro. How did you like her performance here?
Loved it.
Absolutely.
You know I like the tiny girls.
Oh, yeah.
But the spot where she's almost getting eliminated, I'm like, oh, we've seen that before. And she just wraps her legs around the post, goes up. I'm like, okay, that's different. I'm like, I like that.
Absolutely wonderful. I thought she was one of the highlights of the match. Obviously, the Irish conspiracy.
Right, I was going to get into it.
Okay, well I'll let that one slide for now. I thought that the first half of the Rumble was decent, but nothing really stood out all that much. Just tiny moments here and there, but nothing was like, oh, holy shit. Maybe the Casey spot, but that's about it.
And then you have Naomi doing the Kofi spot, of course.
LOL, black people. You know, I mean, really. And it happens in the men's Rumble, too. Not just Kofi makes a Kofi spot, too.
I'm trying to think of who else did one. I know Kofi did like 3 of them. Mm-hmm. Who else did one? I can't remember who else did one. I don't remember who else did one. I'm not even going to fucking bother. So, it was once every 90 seconds?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
The shortest time between buzzers was 1:32.
Jesus Christ.
The longest time was 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
That was between that had to have been the Becky Lynch thing. I would have thought.
No.
It wasn't?
No.
When the fuck was it?
That was Carmella, the last one.
Okay.
From Nia Jax to No, I lied. Oh shit, I really lied. These aren't in order. The longest one was 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
And that was the Becky Lynch one.
No.
God damn it!
That was between Sonya Deville and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, when they did the beatdown?
Yeah, when the Riot Squad did the beatdown.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So, I'm not going to name those all off, but the average time in between interval was 1:54.
Wow. That's kind of amazing. What was your favorite moment of the match, other than...
Sorry, I lied. It was 2 minutes and 1 second.
Wow. What was some of your favorite moments of the match?
The Casey spot. Obviously the match didn't really get picked up until Becky came in.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It just...
There was a lot of anchoring between like Natalya and Charlotte, but
they didn't really do much until Becky came in. Okay, now let's talk about the Irish conspiracy.
Fucking A.
So Lana comes down.
Yes.
Gets hurt. So Fit Finlay comes down, and Becky Lynch is like, hey, I want to take her spot. Because Fit Finlay, as a road agent,
has that ability.
to be like, okay, just go down there.
Just fuck it, do it.
But there's no authority figures, is what I got told. I got told there's no authority figures, so he can do that.
What?
So that means I can do that. I can be like, hey, there's no authority figures, you go down there.
So therefore, and here's the thing, is that Nia Jax didn't win the Women's Rumble. So she comes down to the men's one?
I got news on that.
Okay. Well, I can't wait for that one. So...
You'll laugh your ass off.
Oh, please. Please. Please tell me it was planned for since...
No.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
No.
Well, I mean, they booked this shit so far in advance, don't they? Yeah, the fucking... I'm not a huge fan of how they introduced Becky into the Rumble. I really don't like
you
it.
You could have done that to where, like, say, she gets hurt in her match against Asuka, then limps down, and gets the sympathy. You could have done that without even having that whole thing go on.
Right.
Or you can have her get attacked backstage by Nia Jax, which makes perfect sense because they have history, and then do the same thing. There's multiple ways to do it. It just was the worst. Because it's WWE, the worst one's the one they decided to do.
Yeah, I don't understand that. They should have, like I said, they should never have done Becky Asuka. You're absolutely right. They could have done Peyton Royce. They could have done Billie Kay. They could have done any one of like 10 different people. They could have given it to Lana.
Yeah.
They could have.
The match would be awful, but yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it makes sense in the fact that Asuka could have tapped her out in 3 minutes. You know, it would have been a nice dominant win for Asuka that hasn't had really all that much of a dominant win because she's only defended the title, once? This would be her first official defense?
Yeah.
So she didn't have really a pinfall win yet
No.
since the title. I think that Becky winning obviously was the right choice. There was no other real person. Maybe Charlotte. Maybe. That's like 5% maybe. And we talked about this on our pre-show. You know, it was pretty much a guarantee that one of those two was going to win. I only bet the field because, you know, I'm a gambler.
You take the bet.
I was taking the bet no matter what. But I think that the right call was made with Becky winning. I think also the right call was to have the final 3 include Charlotte, though.
Right. It was the final 2, really, that came down to her and Becky. But, yeah, I gave the match 3. It was still a good match, and it really didn't only pick up till Becky got in the ring. So, I mean, but that had to do with ring crowdedness, which I have a statistic here. The total survival time of everybody was 7 hours, 22 minutes, and 43 seconds. Given that the match was like an hour and 12, that averaged out to be 6.2 competitors in the ring at any given second.
Wow.
That's the 13th most crowded Royal Rumble in history.
I just want to point out, who's the .42? Was it like Alexa? Was it Zelina Vega? Is that how that averages out? Casey?
I don't care. I'll take them all. All of them.
Short girl fetish.
Hell yeah.
Well, now we had that huge hot match.
Let's get a cool down match. WWE title. Daniel Bryanson defends against AJ Styles.
Who booked this shit? Seriously. Why was this not Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor?
Right here at this
Yeah,
point?
at
Because
this
they
point.
needed a cool down match.
That would have been Lesnar and Balor.
No.
Nobody thought Balor was going to win. Really?
We'll get to it.
Oh my god. You're going to justify this?
Oh no. Well, yeah. Sorry. Susie has me here really late because he knows I'm old and it's past my bedtime.
It is absolutely fair.
Because this match fucking was awful. Like, for a Danielson Styles match.
I want to take a moment and say, in the year of our Lord 2019, we are talking about AJ fucking Styles and Bryan fucking Danielson tearing it up, and was probably, I dare say, the worst match of the night.
Well, besides the SmackDown tag titles, yeah.
I mean, okay, second worst.
Second worst match of the night.
Second worst. What in the fuck happened? And have...
Meltzer gave the Women's Royal match 3 1/4.
I don't think... I can't even read it. I mean...
Yeah. He gave the WWE title match 2 3/4. I gave it 2.5. Like, it was... it was an okay match for a house show, and it shouldn't be. You did not need to have that long of a match.
Not only did they not...
After the longest Royal Rumble match.
Well,
Second longest Royal Rumble match ever.
Well, not only that, but the whole fucking match itself should have been a better quality. And having that finish, really?
What, would Rowan come down and just face palming Styles into a choke slam? You mean a face slam? And then
What the fuck
Daniels
was that?
winning? Because Eric Rowan is now eco-friendly. That's why. They're friends, him and Danielson. That's how they explain
So
it.
he no longer fucks sheep, he likes to pet them?
Yes.
Is that how this works?
I guess.
Let's continue on in that. Obviously, we need to talk about the belt, but the match itself was just terrible. I mean, we're watching it, and
We were talking about, like, car accidents or something. We're like, wait a minute. There's a Danielson Styles match on, and we're fucking talking about car accidents.
yeah, that's how boring this match was. And that's just crazy. That's craziness. I don't understand why this was so bad. When, in theory, you have two of the best wrestlers of the last 10 years facing each other. And it just turned into this. I don't get it.
WWE's been doing this for quite some time.
Oh, let's get started with Nakamura, and Styles has been really good as of late, but
So yeah, feud with Nakamura.
and then
Went right to a feud with
Joe.
fucking Joe. Now he's in a feud with Danielson.
So we gotta have 6 more matches with Danielson. They're all gonna be subpar, and then when that's done,
6 more matches with Orton. That's going to be subpar. And
then 6 more matches with Owens.
Sure. No. Well, they already fucked that up too.
Yeah, you couldn't. So, funny little thing. I got reminded yesterday of the amazing AJ Styles Kevin Steen match from
2CW.
2CW.
I
Yes,
got it. I thought
you
it
got
was
it too.
either yesterday or Sunday. It was one of those days.
It was recently. I don't actually now. I don't remember. I thought it was yesterday. It was one of the ones I shared. But anyway, so goddamn
Okay, belt.
that fucking belt. I love that belt.
It's fucking terrible.
So what? How do you think that's terrible?
It's fucking. Have you seen it? It's fucking
I
terrible.
love it.
It's terrible fucking.
I love it.
It is so bad.
How can you not love that belt?
I just said it looked terrible, so I don't love it. By the way,
WWE is going to make a shit ton of money off that.
By the way, that belt costs like $6,000 to make.
Yeah, well, the nice part is that they could probably replicate it for about $350, and all the Bryan Danielson marks will buy it.
Not me.
Which also will mean that it's exactly what Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, hates about us, his fans.
How dare you buy my merch? Buy my merch.
Yeah, really. Hey, he got a fan to sell a hot dog to the face. That's how good Bryan Danielson is.
Quote, fan.
Oh, you go. Wow.
Universal title. Brock Lesnar defends against Finn Balor.
Okay, everyone knew Finn was winning this, right?
Oh, I definitely 100% did not think that was going to happen.
Really? You weren't? No? Jesus Christ. Did not love the beatdown, actually.
At the end?
Yeah. I was not a fan of it.
Well, Lesnar had to get his heat back because a little fucking vanilla midget fucking kicked the shit out of him.
To be fair, and we've talked about this multiple times now, Lesnar wanted to work with Finn.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, what was the point of the beatdown? I mean...
Because casual fans aren't supposed to know he's supposed to want to work with Finn.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yes, it does. You just don't want it to make sense.
It doesn't.
It does.
Mr. Heel's got a heel. I mean, it doesn't...
Yeah. Like I said,
fuck.
Finn Balor stood toe-to-toe with him, and...
Still lost.
still lost, but at the same time, Lesnar still's got to get his heat back for having a competitive match. By the way, second best match of the night, 3.5 stars.
Second best match
Yeah.
at 3.5.
Yeah.
That was not this past takeover, but previous takeovers. That's usually the worst match rating.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was booked nicely. I'm not a huge, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the post-match beatdown. Either just go out there, do it at 5 and call it a night. But just having that huge, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fucking mark. I don't know.
Oh, you're definitely a mark.
Well, I'm not the mark of the wrestling show.
That fucker.
That fucker. Was he supposed to email something to you?
Ha Think he did?
Nope.
Yep, you're right. Men's Rumble match.
Final match of the night.
Okay, statistics. Survival times. Seth Rollins, 43 minutes.
Really?
Longest of the match. Mustafa Ali, 29:57. I'm calling him CNN almost. 26:33. Samoa Joe, 23:43. Drew McIntyre, 20:05. Nakamura, 17:44. Elias, 15:09. Braun Strowman, 14:37. Johnny Gargano, 13:51. Johnny Gargano.
Johnny fucking wrestling.
Dean Ambrose, 12:43. Rey Mysterio, 12:30. Dolph Ziggler, 11:36. Pete Dunne, 11:18. Shelton Benjamin, 19. And it was sad that I didn't realize that Shelton Benjamin was still in the company. Kobe Kingston, 854, and did like 5 fucking elimination spots.
Save spots, yeah.
Baron Corbin, 718. Jeff Hardy, 704. Aleister Black, 709. Big E.
You know, selling that fucking leg.
He had a bandage.
Fuck you. He also did Black Mass at least once.
Oh, fucking hit Pete Dunne right in the fucking face.
Sweet. Loved every second.
Or was it Drew McIntyre? Either one of them is fucking right
Pete
in the
Dunne.
fucking face.
The first one he did was Pete Dunne. And that was the nastiest one.
Big E, 602. Randy Orton, 555. Apollo Crews, 544. Kurt Hawkins, 409. Kurt Angle, 314. Nia Jax, 313. That's JEFF.
JRREDD. That's Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Minute 20. Jinder Mahal, 29 seconds. Bobby Lashley, 12 seconds. Titus O'Neil, 4 seconds. Xavier Wood and No Way Jose, each 3 seconds.
They really didn't want to be a part of this match. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No. That was too much for me.
So,
Highlights of the match.
well, I'm going to get more statistics.
Oh, please, throw them out there.
The shortest buzzer time was a minute 19 seconds.
They booked this perfectly.
The longest one was
2 and 3.
2 minutes and 21 seconds. And the funny thing is, they were back to back.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Who were the 2 entrants?
Jeff Hardy was the shortest and Rey Mysterio was the longest.
Interesting. Okay. That's good.
Crowd time. Survival time, 5 hours, 21 minutes, 58 seconds. The match went 57-28, so it averages to be 5.6 competitors, making it the 18th most crowded Royal Rumble out of the 35.
Honestly, I like when they get like a bunch of them in together and then you have a powerhouse dump out 10 people.
Yeah, but now it's beyond like, oh no, the ring's filling up. Who's going to be next? Oh, look, Braun Strowman. Let's have him eliminate 15 people.
Yeah, I know.
It just gets boring. Like,
I would like it when it
I
was
think
like,
between 4 and 6 is like the perfect amount of people.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to a man that hates triple threat matches, so I mean,
Mm-hmm.
So, I get it.
All right, highlights on the match.
Wow.
Like it was. I gave it 2 3/4. It was
I mean, there
slightly
were,
above average match, but it wasn't anything to write home about. Like, it was okay.
I mean, the moments I enjoyed obviously was the start. That's pretty obvious. I do enjoy a Jeff Jarrett moment now and again. I was surprised that they didn't do Road Dogg in the Rumble.
They did that the next night.
Yeah, which I'm pissed about because that means I had to watch Raw to get that. And I just didn't want to do it. Although, I did watch some snippets of Raw. Fuck, I forget how good Jeff Jarrett's punch is. It looks so good.
About 6 months ago, you were calling him a carny fuck.
He is still a carny fuck. He is the biggest piece of carny fucking trash. But every guy has a redeeming quality. And his is his fucking work punch. It is phenomenal. Everything else is terrible about him. Because he's a carny ass fuck. Global Force Gold, folks. The other
Meltzer gave it Lesnar and Balor 3 3/4, and he gave this Rumble match 3 1/4.
Okay, whatever. That's kind of eh. I do enjoy the fact that Nia came in after beating the shit out of R-Truth. other than that, yeah, there really wasn't anything really to write home about.
No, like Seth Rollins got destroyed at the announce table by Bobby Lashley because, Bobby Lashley.
Oh, Bobby Lashley. I miss the fact that Bobby doesn't do the whole smack his ass taunt anymore.
I'm sorry. I know you like watching black men smack their ass.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I love it. It is the greatest fucking taunt in the world. If and or when I buy WWE 2K19, my wrestler will be doing that every match. Thoughts on the show in general?
I thought it was a good show. Long, but it was actually a good show.
I thought it was a decent show considering how long it was. I think we hit a lot of the same points. A lot of the things that I liked, you liked as well. I still think they could have cut this back to 4 hours, though.
I guarantee you they're not going to do that.
No, they won't, because it's a big 4. And I guarantee you they'll do the same thing with Survivor Series, and I think they're going to start doing it with fucking Summers. Well,
they're going to try to do it with Survivor Series.
Yeah, I mean, they've already done it with SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to do it with Mania. But to do these long events, I'm not sure it's going to go over well. Especially when a lot of the shitty booking rears its ugly little head. But hey, Eric Rowan's back in WWE. Wonder what he's doing.
He's being eco-friendly.
That's pretty much it for the show. Unless we find
half of it was wrestling, half of it was about baseball and food.
And we didn't even go through all of it. First of all, Chip, stop being a fucking mark. Get on the show next time. We want to get an episode of Mark Out Monday going.
This Mark Out Monday.
I do too. But other than that, for Sleazy.
Fat man.
This is the wrestling show. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Peace.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game. The bloodshed in your name. When there's nothing to gain, all the world gonna say.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.